I make all my songs live on Twitch. You can check that out in the link down below.
Hi, welcome. Hopefully you can hear me okay. Everybody settle in. I'm not going to be streaming tomorrow, so you won't see me again until Saturday. Just so you know. Chris, thank you so much. I appreciate it, sweetheart. Hope you're doing well. Thank you. You have a theme song, isn't that crazy? Not really. I'm kind of used to it at this point. It's been here for about 8 years. But I'm glad you're enthused. Mega Man, thank you so much for the bits. I appreciate it. I got my 132nd win in Apex Legends today. Fuck yeah, I haven't played Apex in forever. In absolutely forever. I'm still having issues joining a Discord server. Fuck off. Basically, we have mods. The mods would be happy to help get you in and explain how to get there. Hey, Mike, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Mike, thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you, Cody, for the 10 fucking gifties. Hello, Jim. Good to see you, sweetheart. Thanks for the 87 month. And Carnologist, thank you for the Prime as well. Lots of Primes here. Big success, Tuna. Thank you, too. How are you feeling today? Very sleepy. Very, very sleepy. Not getting enough sleep. How are you, Juice? Would it be okay to drop my Discord name in chat? I wouldn't recommend it, Blue Raspberry. I don't think that's gonna help you get in. Let the mods have a little chat with you. Mods, can you like reply to Blue Raspberry in YouTube chat and see if you can help them get into the Discord? I'd be very appreciative. Congrats on the autism diagnosis matrix. Hopefully that gives you plenty of context. Have you been able to fully recover from your procedure? I feel pretty recovered. I'm back to full workouts now. I feel energized and ready to get back to life. Very, very ready. Thanks for asking, sweetheart. Whoop. Also, you guys ordered some dig boxes on Throne. Thank you to everyone who did that. That's absolutely amazing. I have built them, but they're not finished, so they can't be used today. I think uh I'll show you everything to do with them once they're fully finished and in use. But they are almost ready. Have you ever visited India? No, I really wanted to go see the Rat Temple, but everyone around me who's either been to India or has lived in India or is from India, every single one of them has been like, "Don't do it, don't go. Do not go. You are not allowed." Almec, thank you so much. I appreciate it. I've been warned heavily. That's good to hear. I'm so sure that that's a response to something else I said. I'm just gonna assume. Whoop. I'm not gonna. Yeah. Otherwise, it's gonna be like, yeah. I'm glad you're not going to India. It's so good that people warned you away from it. Hi, love from India. Don't come here. There you go. um. So yeah, here we are. But we do have quite a cool announcement today as well. And also just general things and stuff. God, I'm so sleepy. I'm so not awake. I'm very, very tempted to go get a coffee, but coffee is a lie and it tends to make me more tired, so I'm just going to leave it this time. I'm not going to have to relearn that lesson today. I love you. Unfortunately, my chat has frozen. Let's see if I can refresh it somehow. There we go. What about energy drinks? Usually they're worse. They have all the same problems as coffee, just more exaggerated. Oh no, we're frozen? What? Am I frozen, chat? Woo! Or am I dancing? Like, I am dancing. No, we're fine. Don't you bait me like that. Wow, how could you scare me like that? I've been having tech issues, okay? This is a sensitive topic for me. 90% of this chat makes no sense. Yeah, that sounds about right. I mean, that's actually quite low for the internet. Nova, good to see you. Thank you so much for the 5 gifties. I hope you're doing good, sweetheart. Okay, Jakes. I didn't come here so you could roast me. If you're gonna roast me in chat, you might as well dono the fucking message just to soften the blow. Yeah, if you're gonna throw insults, at least throw money. Is the announcement coming? Yeah, it's a little announcement. Okay. But it's huge to me. PvP, thank you so much. No, the announcement isn't masochism. That's not the announcement. I'm pretty sure you were aware of masochism as a whole long before I even knew what the internet was. So that's not the announcement. She's gonna play Civ 6. That's the announcement. One day, Nova. One day. I promise. I've been thinking about it. I'm getting the urge to play a new game, and I'm like, nothing's quite tickling me right. So maybe now's the time. Pergonerts? No. Unless my kid is the next Messiah. No, it's not Pergonerts. Romani, thank you so much. I appreciate the 5 gifties. Why is everyone being so fucking generous today? This is crazy. Slut. 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 I guess money is a trigger today for some reason. Congratulations on the Immaculate Conception. Yeah, I mean, the gender reveal's gonna be pretty intense because if it's a boy, it can be the Messiah. If it's a girl, they'll just call her a witch. So, what hangs on the balance here? Can't have magical powers and be all like an Immaculate Conception over here and have a vagina. That's dangerous. Did someone just fucking know me? How many years? And you're still fucking knowing me? I need to remember to take that out of rotation, out of the sound alerts. Yep, in 2026. Who the fuck did that? You're lucky, but I don't have my glasses in. I couldn't see the notification. I can't. What is wrong with you, chat? Wait. Have you seen Maya stream in Alaska? Had a close encounter with a brown bear. I saw a clip of that. That's incredible. How did they get in a situation where they're just sitting there on deck chairs like it's a summer vacation, just with like one of the most horrifically aggressive animals ever? I mean, by that, I love bears. I do. I think they're absolutely incredible creatures. But they will eat you to death. They don't kill you, then eat you. They eat you, then kill you. And so, like, I've seen enough of the deepest, darkest corners of the internet to know that bears are no joke. That it is a horrific gamble to hang out around brown bears. So I am very impressed with their bravery, that they are just sat there calmly while that immense killing machine just charges around them. John! Good joke. Okay, you can stay. You're funny. No, I did mean the bear. Why friend shaped when no friend? I mean, maybe that's part of the ploy. Maybe that's how they get so many tasty morsels. Wheezy! Thank you so much for the tier 3, sweetheart. I hope the cats are still enjoying their catio. I don't know if you get, like, I don't know if you got a heat wave this year, or if the cats got to enjoy their catio. It's too hot for them at the moment. Oh. I used to have a cat who was pure black, and she would sit on the windowsill and just bake in the sun, and it would her fur would be scorching to the touch. That's how hot she would get. Like, it was crazy, and she'd just be fine. She'd just be chillaxing. Yeah, go ahead and run those donos. I got donos. Somebody donated. I love you.
Nudge Fund. Always a great cause, you do a lot to help out your local community. Both for humans and the wildlife there.
Thank you. I appreciate that so much, Sonny. That's incredibly sweet.
Dark Souls for small streamer.
Thanks for the suggestion, Mer. I appreciate it. I'll give it a think. I'll give it a think. Woo! I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. Bustle and hustle, enjoying them peanuts. Yeah, they still come. They still eat. I get like the odd little mouse as well who comes and eats from the peanut bowl. And like usually it's a girl, like this big fat girl, but lately it's been this little boy, and like he sits just on the edge in front of the camera, and he's just dangling his nuts and berries in front of the camera. Like you could really tell that's a little boy, unfortunately. So whenever I look for the badger, I'm reminded that there's definitely a boy eating from the nut bowl. Oh, damn, you've been following for 5 years and 9 months. Holy shit. Thanks, Hyper Airhead. I appreciate it. Definitely should share that footage on stream. Yep, that would not be a bannable offense at all, I'm sure. I'm sure. Dark Souls is great if you're a glutton for punishment. Yeah, you have to be really persistent for that. I think like my community specifically likes to recommend it because I have trouble with persistence and I have a bit of a short attention span. Okay. I don't think I've got very far even in Jump King. How many animals have you bit defensively? My score is 6. You should definitely tell your therapist and doctor about that. Uh-uh. Human bites are horrific. Yes. So like, you know when your cat attacks a bird and you save the bird and you just release them, that bird is probably still going to die because it's very difficult to see when they've been bitten under all of their plumage and everything. So quite often they look like they're fine and they haven't been bitten when they have because they don't bleed very much. And what this means is that they often just fly away with a cat bite, and cats' mouths are so fucking gross and germy that usually they die of infection within 3 or 4 days of having been bit. So what you have to do if your cat catches a bird is to take them to a rehabilitation center so they can go on a course of antibiotics for a few days before they're released. Yeah, that's good to know. I'm pretty sure it applies kind of to humans as well, is where I was getting with that. It's like we have that Komodo dragon bite where it's just like, yeah, we're so germy in the mouth. Even those who brush. Everything's mouth is extremely dermatological. Yeah, but no, I like if you get bit by a rabbit, for instance, you're not as likely to get an infection as say if you got bit by a predator like a cat or a dog, because the kinds of bacteria that live in the mouth of someone who eats meat is going to be a lot more threatening in most cases to your health. Like plant bacteria does not pose as much of a threat as like rotting corpse bacteria. And the thing is, like, when you don't floss, in between your teethies is like old chicken that's been very hot and moist for like days on end, for example. So if you wouldn't like dunk a chicken in goo and then put them in the sun and then eat it after a few days, you're already sucking on that. That's already in your mouth, and that bacteria is much more life-threatening. What if we train the rabbits to eat meat? I mean, you could try, but the digestive system can't handle it, so that would be abuse, and the rabbit would probably die. Here in the UK, actually, we were gifted a elephant from India, I believe it was, and everyone thought it was a behemoth and a monster. And the person who kept the elephant had no idea that it was a herbivore. They thought any beast this large must be a carnivore. So they only gave it meat, and it died within a couple of weeks. Poor baby. For real? Wow, holy hell. Yeah, it happened a few hundred years ago, though, so we can't call PETA or nothing, you know? Did I miss the big announcement? Are you gonna play Civ 6? We got 2 people are excited for that? Wow, I'll be honest with you. If I did give it a try, I probably wouldn't say big announcement. No. The big announcement is actually that I am fostering a little boy, and I think he might be a failed foster. I'm 'cause I don't want him to be alone. So I am now going and getting another little girl to be with him so that he's not lonely. Um, so yeah, a little boy rabbit. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. No. Could you imagine me being a mother? Okay, yeah, a little boy rabbit. I've had a little boy rabbit here for a while, who's like an extra rabbit who I like very much, and I've been looking for a home for him, but I think he's probably going to stay. But at the very least, he's going to have a friend very soon. So they are going to live together. I did think that I was going to minimize the amount of rabbits that I have so I could have a real living room with a couch, but I think I'm just gonna have endless bunny rooms forever. How many rabbits do you have now? Well, I'm about to have 6. It's about to be 6. How does he get along with the others? So he's scared of, wouldn't it be 5? No, it's about to be 6, right? Wait. No, you might be right. You might be right. It might be 5. Yes, it is 5. It's about to be 5. Um, but now I can't remember what I was saying about all of that. The more the merrier, lol. Yeah, so I'm going to get this little girl bun. She's gonna have special needs. But the little boy bun is terrified of girls. So I have tried soft introducing Halva to him over and over again, but he just thumps and he hides desperately in a box and thumps until she goes away. Like I have to get her out of the room and then he'll eventually stop thumping. He freaks the fuck out. But he's generally quite unaggressive. He's, like, quite a softie. He's quite a gentle guy. He's huge, though. But yeah, we're about to have many more people on the bunny cams. And to be honest with you, I've been unsatisfied with the way that the bunny cams look. So another little project of mine is to kind of get you a little closer to all the bunnies with clearer visuals on them and everything so that you can genuinely enjoy spending time with them. And you can see them enjoying all the gifts that you get them because they've got so many things because of you. They're so fucking spoiled. What? Can we meet him yet? Not yet. Not yet, but you will. Can we buy more bunny castles? I could certainly put them on the throne if you want to. I mean, it'd be sad if they missed out on having a castle, and I can already tell that he would absolutely love a castle. Oh, hello. But he's like a little bit of a goblin. He sits on top of his little box and he just sits there all day. Like I walk past him and all day, every day, he just sits as high as possible, like a little gargoyle. That's all he does. And he sphinxes all day. He also sniffs people's butts. Like I let him out for a run out of his pen, and he runs around, does the zoomies, gets exhausted, then sniffs everyone's butt. Don't know what that's about. None of the other bunnies are like that. Like a dog. Yeah, kind of like a dog, I guess. I mean, he did come from a household with dogs, so maybe that's why. This is the cutest announcement ever. Well, the thing is, I didn't know if I was going to be keeping him or rehoming him, so I wasn't going to talk about the fact that I have him until I'd made that decision, because I didn't want you guys to get really attached to him and then for him to disappear, because I was thinking, like, I kind of feel like I'm such a busy person. I want to give my animals the best possible care I can. I don't know if I have the time and energy or really the space, but I made it work. I made it work. So, I'll be honest with you, he's been here quite a while. If you've ever wondered why it takes so long for me to do treats o'clock, it's because he's been getting treats too. He's been here the whole time? Yes, I just wasn't sure how long he was gonna stay. Oh, okay, so apparently I need to center myself because it's trying to focus on the bunny toy. So let me just do a little cheeky little shimmy shimmy. How long has he been here? I don't actually know. But yeah, I don't actually know. I think it was winter when I got him. I don't know. That was a long time ago. Yeah, I was trying not to get attached to him, and I got attached to him. I love you. I love you. Straight ears or floppy? Oh, are we gonna play 2 million questions about him? Oh, is it treats o'clock already? Well, I guess now you'll know why it takes so long for me to do it. Let's see. Let's see if the cams are up. Yeah. Okay. I'm working. I'll go do them. Okay, is undercam working? Yeah, we're getting under the desk. He's running loops around me. I wish you. Oh no, is it frozen? Come on, unfreeze. It's because I went too close to it, isn't it? I EMP'd it. Oh, he's just a little blur. Come on. Well, damn it, that would have been adorable too. I don't think we're gonna get bunny cam. Damn it. Well, trust me when I say that was adorable. At least the other two are cuddling together. They're very happy together now. Getting bunnies to bond is such a long process. But I'm glad those two love each other. Supplies! Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you. Oh, I clicked the wrong thing. There we go. And we're back. Thank you so much, storyteller. Oh, I hope she's recovering well, sweetheart. Sorry going through so much. Thanks for making it back. Thanks for remembering me after all that chaos. But yeah, I've had the boy for a while. He's very friendly, but he's a little bit more wary of me than other people because I'm the one who checks his bum and checks his teeth and trims his nails, and he's not appreciative of that. So he hops away from me. He's a little bit concerned when I loom for too long. So he's like, "No, stay away from my nails," which is quite typical. Usually, it takes me a while for bunnies to forgive me for doing their nails and things like this. So what's his name? So I have been calling him Loaf, but that's about to get very confusing because the one who's coming's name is Loaf as well. So I think I might have to rename one of them. Well, technically his legal name is Rufus. Like, at the vet, his full legal name is Rufus. But he looks like a loaf of bread. He really, really looks like a loaf of bread. So I yeah, don't know what to do about that. Rufus Loaf. Yes. What's his surname? Well, technically his surname is just my surname. Roll him in butter? No, I'm good. Thanks for the suggestion. We don't treat bunnies like that in my house. You'd be lucky to escape. Nobody would know what happened to you. You just disappear and people be like, huh, wonder what happened to them. If you tried to do such a thing to my bunny. Is everything okay since you're missing the stream tomorrow? I've been promising to go and hang out with my friend for a long time, so we're just gonna do a little bit of traveling together. Yeah, that's an amazing idea. That's cool. Thank you. I don't know when I'm gonna do a bunny reveal. I don't know when that's gonna happen, but you'll see him at some point, I guess. I don't know whether to wait until both of them are together or to let him have his own little moment. But he's very, very cute. Is he an ugly bunny? There's no such thing. I can't wait to literally die of the cuteness. I might let you follow their journey, pair bonding, because that's always craziness. Like, a lot of bunnies that I've known that have met the love of their life have attacked the love of their life really horribly first. But like, hopefully the pair up is smooth. I mean, when Oscar met Anya, it was love at first sight. They weren't aggressive towards each other at all. Yeah, Oscar and Anya fell in love. They were just like immediately meant for each other. It was so sweet. They were one of the fastest pair ups I've ever done. What's the backup if they don't get along? The backup if they don't get along is I will go on the hunt for a better home for them. Because unfortunately, Pete has to have his own separate room, and he needs a lot of love from me because he doesn't have a partner, right? I can't provide that much time and energy for 3 separate lone bunnies. So if they can't fall in love with each other, unfortunately, I will have to find a new place for them both. Yeah, because I want to be the best, like, owner that I can possibly be, right? And I can't give I don't there's not enough of me to provide that much love and attention for 3 individual bunnies. They either need a friend or they need, like, a very, very attentive human being. Yeah. So, uh hopefully they're both friendly. Yeah. I mean, I mostly have a feeling that, loaf number 1 is gonna be fine because um he's just timid. He's not got an aggressive bone in his body. Like, when I first got other bunnies, sometimes they would, like, nip you a bit hard when you tip them on their back to, like, check their mouths and teeth and stuff, initially, and then they'd slowly just not bite you. But, like, he's never bit me. He's never aggressive. Not even once. I've only heard him growl once, and that was, like, yesterday, and I've had him for God knows how long. So, I think he's not gonna be the problem, it's just finding out whether this new girl is going to be aggressive. That's the question for me. Is there no chance of Pete bonding with either? How come? Oh, no. Pete is a serial killer. He is a murderer. He's an actual psychopath. Like, he's only a good person around me. Like, he ripped open Anya's throat. She had to go to the hospital and get 2 surgeries to fix it. And I wasn't even introducing them. He broke out of his enclosure, went up the stairs, opened her door, and attacked her while I was gaming one day. And, like, I heard some rumbling upstairs, and I thought that Anya was having a binky. That she was just being like, "Ooh," and having a run around. I went up there, and the entire floor was just fur, was just covered in fur. I could not see the carpet in her room, and they were fighting in the doorway, ripping the shit out of each other, and she looked fine. I grabbed him, he bit me so hard that blood squirted on the ceiling. He was in kill mode. He bit through my arm. Like, I have a scar on my arm. I don't know if you can see it. It's like right there. And it meets in the middle under the skin. He did this with his teeth. Like, did this with his teeth. And his teeth met under the skin. So I could have put something through my arm, through those 2 holes. And blood squirted the ceiling. Um like, he is a absolute terror. Bitch! Pete of despair and anger. Yes, he really hates other bunnies, really fucking hates other bunnies, and is quite consistently very aggressive towards them. I tried for a very long time to introduce Anya and Pete. They would have meetings where I'd have Pete sit on my lap and Anya would hop around, or sometimes I'd have Anya in my lap and Pete would hop around in the bathroom, which is like no man's land and all this stuff. I went by the book, slowly introduced them, and one day he just went up and assassinated her behind my back. So he's like dangerously aggressive. I've never had that kind of behavior from any other bunny before. And he tenses up. I know when he's going on the attack because he goes hard as a rock. Like, all his muscles activate and he's really, really silent. And he moves really slowly before he tries to attack. So, like, whenever he sees or smells another bunny, he goes rock solid. Like, he's revving up to try and murder someone again. So he's just unfixable. There's just something wrong with him. And he'll never have a partner. Unfortunately. I would love for him to have a partner. He's never gonna have a partner. Is that normal for rabbits? No, it's really not. He's not a normal rabbit at all. Go ahead. Run that dono, Peaks.
£1 per year of followage. Yes, I am an idiot.
Why does that make you stupid? Thank you ever so much. I appreciate the tip. I don't think you're stupid. Don't worry about it. I love you. 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 What special needs does the new bun have? So, I haven't got her yet, and I don't want to elaborate until I have her. Because like I might go on this long dialogue about how she is and who she is and then not get her. So, I will get her soon. If I get her, you'll meet her. And then I can tell you about her special needs. But until then, I'm not gonna rev it up because I have this like weird little curse where if I plan something and I prep you all for it and I explain how something's gonna go, it never happens because everything gets in the way. So we'll just see what happens. I have lots of reason to believe I will have a new girl rabbit soon. A bunny's monogamous. So in the wild, they're not known to be honest with you. Usually there's a roving male who will mate with lots of different females if he can. However, and also like what tends to happen is the female gets like fertile in a very short window. So a male will follow her around wanting to mate with her, but she'll fight with him and beat the fuck out of him. So if you see two rabbits fighting, there's a very good chance it's not two males, that it's actually a male like a female fighting off a male who she's not ready to mate with while he's pestering her to mate. And sometimes there'll be 2 or 3 males that follow her around who want to mate with her, and she's like, no, fuck off, I'm not ready. And she'll fight all of them because they're fucking tough, right? And then when she is ready, and this is like a few minutes window, like women become fertile for 5 days of the month, like rabbits become fertile for a few minutes. And they'll be like, okay, I'm ready. And suddenly they'll just sit in the position and allow a mating. So the male that has the stamina to fight her and follow her around and be exhaustively attacked over and over again is the one that deserves to. It's how he proves himself to her, essentially. However, what I've noted is things like with Oscar, whilst he was with Anya, when they bonded, they fell in love so quickly. They were so deeply in love. She was incredibly jealous. When I started bringing and introducing Halva, Annie was interested in Halva at first, and she was very friendly towards Halva. And then she saw Halva kind of like hit on and try to get frisky with Oscar, and from that point on, Anya fucking hated Halva, bullied the shit out of her, and was like, no, stay away from that man, right? And then Oscar wasn't particularly interested in Halva. He would just like be like, that's nice, stay away from me. He wouldn't attack her or anything, but Halva would like try it on with him and be like, oh, hello. And he'd be like, nah, I don't know who you are, lady, but I'm taken. And he just wasn't interested in her. After Anya died, Oscar was really sad. He still didn't ever try to mate with Halva. Like, he wasn't particularly romantically interested in her at all. To this day, I don't think I've ever seen him try to mount her. I think he still sees her in a platonic way. I think he's still not over Anya because, like, Halva has humped his face a couple of times. She tries to assert dominance, but, like, he never really follows her around like that. He never really treats her like that at all. Whereas he was very enthused about Anya, would constantly try to mount her. So, like, he just isn't into Halva the way that he was into Anya, which shows to me that, like, he did have a monogamous relationship with her. I do think they are capable of it. Like, I had a buddy called Biscuit, and he used to follow his mate around constantly and protect her. Like, whenever we had to take care of her, because she used to get the squits a lot, so we used to have to clean her butt, and she didn't like it. And Biscuit would fight us and protect her and, like, try to dig us away, bite us away, chase us away. Yeah, he was deeply in love with her. So I do think that they can have monogamous relationships. But in the wild, it seems like they probably choose to a lot less. Hey, Via. Thank you so much for the Prime, sweetheart. Hope you're doing well. No problem. I hope you make the right decision, sweetheart. The one that's right for you. I'm so happy for Nia. Yeah, I'm really fucking happy too. I love bunnies. I did promise myself I wouldn't get any more, but here we are. But I am looking forward to giving them an awesome life. Uh-uh. She probably was asking him, would he like to extend his car's warranty? What however was, I wouldn't be surprised. Just means we can buy them more niblets. Yeah, thank you ever so much for everybody who's been giving the bunnies treats and stuff, especially the balls. The balls are a fantastic gift because it gives them something to do in their downtime. Like, it means they've always got something to chew and enjoy, and they do really like those balls. They used to get them through them so fast that I just couldn't afford to keep up with it. So the fact that you're giving them to them means that they have, like, a lot more daily entertainment than they used to. Do you have any cats, and if no, why? So I have a severe cat deficiency, bitch, because nigga, sorry, because because I love cats, but they're predators, and I never ever want to have an incident where a cat attacks one of my rabbits. And even if they seem trustworthy, you leave them alone and they suddenly turn. So like I know somebody who they got a chihuahua and a cat. And they seemed to get on really fine, and they were just happy and running around the house together. And they left the house to go to the pub or something. I don't even know what they were gone for a couple of hours. When they came back, there was just like a kidney on the floor and no chihuahua. Oh, thank you, Via. I really appreciate it. They love the Hey Twisties. They go really fast. When I come in and I'm like, I've got a gift for you, they get really excited, and then I hand them to them and they're like, oh, is this it? What the fuck? And they don't eat it. But then when I turn my back, like they go really, really fast. They love them. Yeah, they really, really enjoy them. Yeah, thank you so much for getting them. So now I have lots and lots and lots of bunnies. Predator lol. Yeah, it seems the cat was just waiting and biding their time to eat the chihuahua. So that story taught me that even if I introduced a cat to the house, they would be really, really dangerous to the rabbits because even if they seemed fine, all it would take is for me to leave them alone together, and one day I might regret my mistake. I know cats can get on with rabbits, it's just not a risk that I'm willing to take. I get really nervous and my gut lurches when people keep rabbits and dogs. Like, I feel like the risk is just so unnecessary, and every time I see them near each other, like, I feel the squeeze in my chest. I'm so nervous for the rabbit. So, I couldn't bring a predator into the house. I fucking love cats, though, and I've been waiting years and years and years to run out of bunnies because I'm like, I will get cats one day because I love cats. I don't know if I'll ever get cats in this lifetime because I just never run out of bunnies. I love you. Yeah, it's a shame that it didn't work out for that person, Ryan. I don't think that all cats are just untrustable. It's just that I'm just not capable of taking the gamble. I get intrusive thoughts, so I'd never be able to leave the house because I'd be like, what if today's the day that my cat eats my rabbit? Like, what if she's eating him right now? Like, and I wouldn't be able to stop thinking about it. So I just can't take risks like that. When I lived with my ex, he had this massive big boxer dog, and he was very, very gentle. He was so big though, like Scooby-Doo big, comically big. If he stood on his hind legs, he would tower above me. He gave me a black eye once. And like my ex used to breed bearded dragons before I got with him. And so he had loads of baby bearded dragons. And I would come over here, sleep, have nightmares that all of the baby dragons had escaped and that the dog was going around eating them. and that I would hear the dog crunching on them before I could find them, and it was really disturbing and upsetting. I would have so many nightmares like that. I just cannot keep little vulnerable animals around a predator. I just can't do it. It's just such a mind fuck for me. Yeah, no, don't. Exactly. I would have so many traumatizing dreams. So I would have to have no bunnies to have a cat. I think I just care so much, and my brain is constantly looking forward and trying to think of all the worst case scenarios so I can avoid them. So unfortunately, I'm just not in a position to combine different pets. I know it can be done. I just don't have the brain for it. That's responsible though, because sometimes the worst things happen, unfortunately. Yeah, and it's always unexpected. Like the reason they happen is because you don't think they will. So like I'm very passionate about animals. It really sits with me. Really, really hurts and really, really sits with me. So I'm so, so careful. That's why my bunnies live so long. I make sure they can be happy. I don't like limit their lives to the point where they can't do things that make them really happy, but I don't take risks. I'm so careful. Like with Pete, he can run in my garden. I stand over him like a 1 or 2 paces away. He used to hate it. He'd be like, "Back up, mom. Let me be free. Let me binky around." And I'm like, "Nope, I'm gonna be stood right here, right next to you." Because if a bird of prey swoops down, I couldn't do anything if I was sat over there. If a dog just comes running into my garden, I wouldn't be able to save you in time unless I'm right here over you. And now he enjoys running around and playing, and he just stays close to me, and I have voice calls. So he tries to escape from me, and I'll go, "Would you like?" If I go to pick him up to like check his bum or whatever, he's like, "No, don't do it!" And he runs away from me and he fights me, right? And he'll like stand on his hind legs and box my hands away. But if I say, "Would you like to go to the garden? Would you like to go to the garden?" Comes bounding over to me. I don't know if he's gonna do it now, but like he'll come running over and be like, "Yeah." Like he can tell by my stance if I'm gonna try and pick him up. And he's like, "No, don't do it." But the minute I start saying garden, he sits and assumes the position. He suddenly is like, "Oh, yeah, sure, if it's the garden." And I never betray him. I never say garden when we're not going to the garden. Yeah, so that he never gets it mixed up and starts scaring. And so like I'll you just did he's not paying attention. That's why I'm saying it so much because he's not. I think he knows the difference. I think he knows I wouldn't ever take him out at night. Um so yeah, that's what I do. And he's learned that word, which is very smart of him. And then I take him in the garden. I follow him everywhere. And he likes to go rummaging. I got a shed and he loves looking in the shed. He fucking loves the shed. I needed it because I did all this gardening, so I got myself a shed. And yeah, he gets like cobwebs in his whiskers. Never lie to them. Trust issues with pets is a thing. Yeah, I don't. I mean, I wouldn't. I'm just not stupid enough to do that. How old are your bunnies? Well, Pete's probably about 6 or 7, maybe 8, somewhere in that age bracket. They're all rescues. October 31st. So he's a Halloween boy. Graffin, thank you so much. And all of the rest are much younger. I think Halv is nearly 2 now. Really? Well, I have to rely on chat for that because I have bad memory, but you know because I told you when I got them. So they're very happy little buns. My only difficulty, the only thing I struggle with bunnies is not making them fat because I love them and I want them to have all the treats. So that's the only thing I battle with. How'd you deal with bad memory? Bitch. Bitch. So my memory is exceptionally bad. and it does impact my life on a daily basis. I find it really hard to self-manage. I forget what I'm doing constantly. There are loads of half-finished tasks around the house. So for things I know I'm gonna forget what I'm up to, I use alarms, I use lists. I make the lists rewarding and give me a dose of dopamine to complete. So what I've started doing now is I have like this page and it has like lots of little bars in it. And what I do is I write what I intend to do, but I don't overwhelm myself, because if I look at my whole list today, I'm like, oh fuck, and I get paralyzed by how much I've got to do. So I just think of the next thing I'm going to do, and I just write that one thing at the top of the list, and then when it's done, I cross it out in red. And I will make a rainbow of tasks. And if I fill the entire task list with a rainbow, I get a reward at the bottom. So, if it's a big one that's gonna take me, like, all month to complete, like, because it's really difficult tasks that take a long time to complete, I will give myself a big gift. Like, I'll go to this place and I'll go on a trip with a friend. I will buy myself this new piece of furniture I wanted, that sort of thing. If it's a small list that I know I can get done in a day, it will be like, I will give myself this meal as a reward. I will get takeout as a reward, or I will give myself 3 hours of gaming time as a reward. And so, like, the coloring them in and making them into a rainbow and being able to stand back and go, yeah, I was really productive, builds trust with myself as well, that I can get things done, which starts to shatter when you have terrible memory. Bitch! Has there ever been a moment where your Tourette's accidentally helped you or brought something unexpectedly positive, only if you feel comfortable sharing? I once punched the shit out of a stranger on the way to school on my first day to walking to school. And I punched her in the back of the arm, and she looked around, saw a yellow car, punched me back. And we got talking after that, and we're friends. She took that really well. Yeah, she just thought I was playing the yellow car game with her randomly. And we hung out a lot after that. We went and did a lot of things together. It's gonna start punching people, see if that works. Scared for you, Nova. But you do you. Oh, someone's doing something. Oh no, it's just my washing machine. I would like to watch the streamer partake in Civ 6 or Dark Souls. I feel like if I do Civ 6, even 6 Civ, I'm gonna fuck. I'm gonna fuck fuck. I'm gonna fuck fuck fuck. I'm gonna fuck fuck fuck. I'm gonna learn it on my own and then play it after I've learned it, because otherwise it's gonna be me stuck on the same very basic thing for like 5 hours going, I don't understand what to do, chat. No, people like watching you learn. No, they don't. I, I've noticed that, like, when you guys watch me play World Builders and I give you the tour and I explain everything that I have learned and like what I've built, you guys love that. But if I'm like, what am I doing? Oh my god! And people come in and like, oh my god, she's still stuck on the tutorial. People leave. Absolutely. Understandably. That was Anno 117 and we stayed. This is so forceful. This is so forceful. There's a lot of determination behind this. Nah, you punk the best Frost, bro. I do love Frostpunk. I have been Frostpunking. Did you know they did an update? I'm currently trying to get all of the little statues. I'm confused though, because I keep completing the task to get the statues and then I can't build them. And it says, you've unlocked them. And I'm like, have I fuck? Where is it then, bitch? If people are asking you to play, it's because they have a desire to backseat. Okay, I love that. But I would need a significant amount of you before I'm willing to like let you hijack the stream. For the simple reason that I'm just gonna lay out there, some of you are very, very, very vocal minority, and I've seen 2 people say they want me to play Civ 6. 2. 2. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. The vocal minority is me. It is totally you, Nova. Bitch. Gay. That was me surviving Mars. No one would leave the hotel. Games like this just break sometimes. I wish I understood that sentence. I think I'm like in zombie mode. I'll be honest with you. I'm very, very tired. If you play Civ 6, then you can shut up all the people that want you to be a politician. You think that'll count enough for them that they'll just leave me alone after that? This is why I'm suggesting that you engage your brain. This is why I really wish you guys would like actually enjoy me playing Marvel Rivals, because I love Marvel Rivals and it does wake me up. It does. So does Frostpunk, but I think that's just because I'm staring at bright white light because it's so snowy. I think it's like the step before snow blindness is like pseudo caffeine. Like it wakes you up. I'm Ginger and I get sunburn in the snow. I'm sorry, it's so insensitive to laugh, but it was just so random. Welcome in, ginger person, and that is okay. We do accept gingers here. Gingers are welcome. This is a safe space. And you'll be pleased to know there is absolutely no snow. No, you're fine, lol. I go white, red, and hospital. What? I'm so from the snow? That is crazy. That is so sad. If it makes you feel any better, I too cannot handle the snow, but it's because I'm allergic to cold. I come up in like hives. Really, really, it's like I rolled in stingy nettles. I've forgotten the name of it, but I have it really bad. I need to like get a video of it to prove to my doctor so that it ends up on my doctor's records because it's really, really bad. Do you think it's okay for someone to move to another city for career and social opportunities and leave their cat behind at the parents' house? I want to move to another city because I have no opportunities in my town and I feel isolated, but I'm afraid I won't be able to handle the stress of moving and having a pet simultaneously. It's also basically impossible to rent a place there where you can have a pet. I want to have a better life for myself, but I feel like a very irresponsible pet owner. Lena, I will not judge you for giving yourself a good life. I do think if you have to rehome your pet, don't just dump them with your parents. Bring them to somebody who will genuinely love them and take very, very, very good care of them. And the reason why I'm saying this is because me and my ex, we had to move. And like I moved in with him and his mom, and then we moved out together, right? And when we moved out together, he couldn't bring his musk turtle. and his musk turtle was beautiful. We loved the musk turtle, right? And so he had like a music teacher, and he gave the musk turtle to her. And she was like, "Don't worry, I'll take really, really good care of him." And then a few years later, we were settled, we were stable, and we were able to take the musk turtle back. And musk turtles live for many, many years. So we got in contact with her, and apparently he died within 2 weeks of being there. And she was such a responsible person, and she kept lots of like little aquatic things, and somehow had managed to kill the turtle within 2 weeks, right? So fucking sad. I have so many stories like this where I have some deep, painful, everlasting regret about that. I mean, it wasn't my choice, it was his turtle. I just wish I could have done something. I wish I could have found someone else. I wish I could have done something to help in that situation. And I'm deathly afraid of letting anybody take my pets because I'm so scared that people will let them down. So like, if you're already feeling guilt and regret now, imagine what would happen if you give your cat to the wrong person. And sometimes we trust our pets to take care of animals when they really, really can't. Okay, so unless your parents have a good track record with pets and have had long-lived cats before, I would not just dump them just on your parents. Find a genuinely good expert home, preferably with more than one cat, so that the cat has company. Yeah, for your own sound mind, make sure it's a really good home. I love you. 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 You slut. Hey, for lack of a better term, advertising voice tick. Is that mimicking something, or is it something that just comes out? So initially, when I started talking like that, it's because I went through a period in my life when my throat was incredibly sore all of the goddamn time. I have achalasia. My throat tissues are very, very sensitive. They bleed very easily. They tear very easily. I can't swallow things properly. It's a bit of a nightmare. And so I found that talking in the advertiser voice allowed me to just relax, right? And significantly less painful, significantly less painful to talk. And so it just happened, it just switched on by itself as a reflex. When you talk really croaky, when you have like a sore throat and you don't really choose to talk like that. Well, that happened to me with the advertiser voice. It just switched on one day, funnily enough, in a taxi. And, like, I didn't know why I sounded that way. I thought, "Weird, the acoustics in this car are weird. I really like, my voice sounds so deep to me right now." And I just thought it internally. I didn't think that anyone else could hear a difference, right? And the taxi driver was like, "You have a really smooth voice. Do you know that? You could be on, like, the radio or something." I was like, "Oh, thank you." And I got out, like, that was weird. Um and so, like, that started happening, and then, like, because it was, like, a reflexive reaction to pain, it would just switch itself on. But, like, then I noticed after a while that tics started happening in that voice, which was interesting. I think that was around the time that I started being accused of being a soundboard whenever I played Overwatch, because I would go on, like, Push to Talk, and I would talk to everyone, and they'd be like, "Who the fuck is this? What kind of soundboard are you using? I know you're not a girl. I know you're a fat loser in America." Like, that was the thing. "You're just some fat male virgin." Nobody believed my voice was real when I did the advertiser voice at all, which was confusing but funny. I just turned it into a drinking game. I'd just take a swig whenever people accuse me of being a soundboard, and got absolutely slizzard playing Overwatch. That's probably why I was hard stuck gold. Uh-uh. I don't know what to do about the camera focus, but thank you for making me aware, because I'm not looking at myself. Oh, sorry, Pete. He's like right under me. He's like moving because he's like, "Oh no, are we moving? No, we're not moving. Well, maybe we are moving now that you're out." I love you, little guy. He's a little guy. It's the bunny toy behind me. So that's like Pete's girlfriend. He does sit and groom it from time to time. It was actually on the throne, and he is so grateful. The reason why you haven't seen the other two is because I gave them to the secret rabbit. And so I couldn't show the other two being enjoyed because it was him who was enjoying them. But I'm sure you'll get to see that soon. Oh wait, I still put that in the camera view. What am I doing? There we go. I wonder if it's because it has a face. Do you ever experience disassociation? I've been experiencing it a lot lately, and it's tough. I would really recommend going to a therapist about that because it's nobody happy people don't disassociate. That is a sign that something is going wrong and your brain is protecting you. So I would strongly recommend you see someone about that before it becomes a bigger issue. Pete realized you moved his girlfriend. Oh, is he checking on her? Is like, are you okay? He really is checking on her. That's so cute. Oh. Well, hopefully he knows that I didn't hurt her. Fuck, I had like a little cloth that I was using to clean my glasses and it's disappeared. I have like two friends who've had glasses for way longer than me, and I walk up to them and I'm like, can you help me? And they do, they just clean them for me, and they get them spick and span. Both of them are fantastic at this. I am so shit at it. I haven't had glasses long enough, and I rub and rub and rub, and they're still murky as fuck. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I'm so circular about it, too. You're not supposed to use your clothes. Well, I don't know where the special little cloth is. Oh, wait. I say that as I find the special little cloth. Did you breathe on it first? Oh, wait. That looks... Oh, no. It's still fucked. What am I doing wrong? This is like the contact lenses. I bet loads of you have had, like, glasses for years, and you're just watching me be terrible at this. Please. Please. Ah. I need to get new glasses, but I'm too lazy. So, like, I really regret not getting the lesbian glasses. So, when I took loads of pictures of me in loads of different glasses styles and sent them to my friends, I was in a group chat, I was like, pick the best ones, that I have no idea. I feel like a dork in all of them. And, uh, there was a pair of glasses that were square, but thin. Like office siren style, I guess. And like all of my female friends were like, those are the best, those. All of the women like those best. They resoundingly. What are lesbian glasses? I guess when I put it that way, it does kind of sound sus. Like, I don't know, glasses that just reveal which people are lesbians or something, or like reveal that you are a lesbian, or that turn you into a lesbian, like that just suddenly make all the women attractive. I don't know. It does sound weird, doesn't it? Can you still get them? I don't know if they still have them. And they might have gone out of fashion. It might not be in there anymore. You never know. Office siren would work for me, so yeah, maybe they are lesbian glasses. I genuinely do think the office siren is a lesbian look. I feel like women appreciate it. It's for the female gaze. Even the straight women appreciate a good office siren, but I've never really seen office siren really be used in a male gazy kind of way. Like it's not a flavor of porn you really see. It's not like a thing that men pick out a lot or create in video games. Like a femme in a blazer? Say less. Yeah. Yeah, to be fair. I don't even know what the hell that look is. You don't know what an office siren is? Um, so somebody who exudes angry bitch energy, right? Someone who looks stern, someone who looks kind of slightly mean, um, like their makeup makes them look meaner. Like one of the things you do with office siren makeup is you make your eyes a mean shape, you know? And then the clothing is dark professional. So like you could wear this to the office, but it looks slightly alternative. It's like a mishmash, an overlap between alternative and professional. Yeah, office siren. I mean, you could just type office siren look in Google and see what you get. A lot of high ponytails, a lot of thick rimmed glasses. Yeah, it's a very obvious look. Yes, but it does seem to stick out more to women. It's for the ladies. I swear it's for the ladies. And Juice is like, no, I love that look. Juice, you love everything. Shut the fuck up. I know you. You've been in my chat a long time. If I just describe a woman, you're like, I love that. Like, I've never ever heard you criticize anything a woman does ever. Like, I've never heard you say, I hate it when women wear shorts. Fuck shorts. Nobody should know you have knees. Shut up. Like, you've never said anything like that. You've never just come out with a look you hate on women. Period, Juice. I mean, I'm all for it. You can appreciate the shit out of women. You're allowed, bitch. But like, you going, I love when women do that. Doesn't really mean anything. When you just love when women. Full stop. You just love when women. Why? Do you have a look that you hate on women? Yes, I have a few. I hate the schoolgirl look. Fuck the schoolgirl look. It is weird, very fucking weird that that look even exists for schoolgirls. To be quite honest with you, yeah, I feel like there should only be shorts and trousers for both sexes, right? Because people deeply fetishize the skirts. Deeply fetishize the skirts, which puts the girls in danger on their way to school. I would know, I've experienced this. And like then the creepy adult men go to their girlfriends and go, you know what would make you more attractive if you dressed like a child? So yeah, the schoolgirl look. I hate when the schoolgirl look. Yeah, fuck that. So cringe. Nuh-uh. I'm so uncomfortable about it. I can't think of any others off the top of the head, but I think I do have more. I just can't remember them right now. Do you know some polish words? What you mean, like buff and shiny and satin finish and pristine? Oh, like Poland? No, I don't know a single Polish word. That's okay. My brain isn't on. I'm just gonna admit it. You know what engages the brain? Dark Souls? You probably hate all the lolly looks, not just the schoolgirl, except maybe the goth lollies. I think that the term Lolita is based on a book that is about a child that is like a literal child, she's something like 10 or something, who, written by an adult man, by the way, is a fantasy character of like a little girl who seduces adult men and willingly mates with them. And so it's a pedophile fantasy. And the reason why people call certain looks Lolita is because they know they are making a pedophile fantasy, just like the book. So for that reason, yeah, I probably do have a problem with a lot of Lolita looks, but I think as well, sometimes the words have less and less connection to the original meaning over time. Like the terms moron and stupid used to be clinical diagnoses. Did you know that? But they're not anymore. People don't even know that's the case anymore. It's just considered words for being thoughtless, right? So I do know that some people probably wear Lolita looks for the art of it and not to try and look like a child and to try and look like a cartoon doll. And so for some people, their personal motivations might be more artistic. But at the same time, yeah, there are definitely people who enjoy the Lolita look because they like being childlike, and I do find that creepy as an adult woman. Oh, she's 12 in the books? No, that I don't know if that makes it any better, but it's still really, really bad. Striking an idiot was an actual crime in medieval times. Huh, but not burning women alive. Hmm. There's also multiple movie adaptations of the book too. Ew, of course there is. Of course there is. Reminds me of Hard Candy, a 14-year-old vigilante traps and tortures a man suspected of being a predator. Yes, I actually saw that in the movies. I was very excited about it when it came out. With that movie, though, one of the things I was disappointed in is that they still sexualized the young actor, didn't they? So it's like, I don't know. My problem with these things is, like, if I were to put it in a nutshell, I would think of, you know, that prison escape movie where that guy is being sexually assaulted and raped in prison, so he carves his way out through behind a poster with a spoon. Shawshank Redemption. I think it's that, right? So in that, you know that he gets attacked in that way. And when he does, he gets beaten up by the men. They surround him, they pin him down, and the camera slowly pans away, right? And the reason we do that is because we know he's being assaulted and we know it's a tragedy, but it wouldn't be entertaining to sit there and watch him graphically be attacked like that. It wouldn't really help the movie. We don't really need to see it happen. We wouldn't derive any pleasure from seeing it happen. And the movie would go from entertainment to being abject, like actually distressing, right? And so we know when we depict things that are like not okay sexually, like because they're non consensual, because they're cruel, whatever, right? We know that depicting it is terrible when it's depicting a man. But if it's a child or a woman, it will get more graphic because some people get off on it. and some people genuinely enjoy watching it. And the people who direct these movies know that there are people out there who enjoy watching it, so they'll be more graphic about it with women and children. And that makes me deeply uncomfortable because I don't see kids that way. I don't see anyone that way. But like having to sit there and uncomfortably watch someone be sexualized for the titillate and attract a male audience makes me hate the movie, hate the director, and really hate the male audience. So, like, the problem I have with hard candy is that we look at the hard candy the way that the pedophiles do. When, you know, the predator in that movie could have still achieved all of that without encouraging people to perv on them. Yeah, we can call it Game of Thrones syndrome. Exactly. Like if there were 40 dudes getting butt raped in graphically with long scenes going into great detail, where you can see the sweat glistening off every cheek, then people would say that the director of Game of Thrones was a bit of a wrong-un and that there's just something weird about him and it was a very uncomfortable watch. But because it's women being attacked over and over again, then people are fine with it and they're like, oh yeah, this is actually pretty cool. Have you seen it yet? I like how in Marvel Rivals too, a lot of people were okay with the sexualized designs of the women, but were immediately upset with Captain America's getting a skin like that. And it gives you like a really interesting perspective into how much discomfort men can tolerate compared to women, because you can give unnatural proportions to a woman to make her look hotter, to make her look attractive. You can give her an unattainable skinny waist that she would have to like just like mutilate herself to get. You can give her an ass that isn't real. You can give her giant tits that aren't real, right? And would never behave like that in reality. And people are fine with it. But if you give one of the male characters an inhumanly sized dong, and it's not even like inhuman, there are genuinely humans who can naturally achieve that just fine, right? And people get really uncomfortable and it has to be nerfed. And like that says everything you need to know about like what women are expected to endure in terms of discomfort and unrealistic standards compared to what men are expected to endure. And also I've noticed that all of the butts in Marvel Rivals for the guys are square butts. None of them are bubble butts. And bubble butts are hot. Bubble butts are hot on men. Like a nice round ass is cute on a guy, but they won't. They won't give them a single round ass. And I think there's a specific reason for that. I think it's because it would be uncomfortable to acknowledge that you could find a man's ass hot for some men. I think that's genuinely the reason why they're not giving them any of these guys bubble butts. They have the butt dimples on the sides. They don't have the bubble butt. I beg to differ. Cap, Venom, Daredevil, and Deadpool all have bubble butts. I disagree. I wouldn't call those bubble butts. I genuinely wouldn't call those bubble butts. They are cute butts. They're good butts. I'm not gonna like say, oh, how dare they? Those butts aren't good enough. They're good butts. They're top tier butts. They're not my definition of a bubble butt. Now that you brought it up, I'm gonna take you on a Marvel Rivals tour of just the characters to emphasize the bubble butts and scenario, right? Because I think you need to understand exactly what I'm saying, and I think this is a very important part of like, I don't know, ethics in games. Ethics in games journalism. We're gonna go look at some butt cracks to discuss like character design in games. I'm sat. Okay, let's go. Let's go have a look at this. I think we genuinely need to have a good overview of this so you can fully understand. It's an important topic. The world is burning, but first we gotta deal with the butts. Hey, buddy! Thanks for the bits, by the way. I just saw that. It's half an hour ago. But I know I didn't thank you, so I appreciate it. You're back to your usual energy now? Finally! All it took was some ass. We're getting in here. I'm sure you can hear it. Okay. Piss! I love you. Continue. Hang on. I think the music will stop once I get into the thing. Otherwise, I'll stop the music. Is it distracting, the overlay? Should I fix the music? Fine. There's music. I'll fix the music. There we go. So, you said Daredevil has a bubble butt. That's still square to me. It's got a curve. Look at the 2099 skin. It's got a curve, and it's a nice butt. Very enjoyable, not a bubble butt. Okay, I'm an artist. I would know how to draw this. This is not a bubble butt to me. 2019 skin. 2099 even. Yeah, that is still got the squareness to it. I'm sorry. It's close. It's closer than I thought, to be fair, and I'm glad you brought this to my attention. I will have to look this over in detail later, but, like, it's still square to me. It is still square to me. That is as close to a bubble butt as I've ever seen, but it's not quite. It's still square. Too much plating around it, I guess, to a degree. And also, like, one of the things is they will just not hint at any junk with any of the males, and I find that really interesting because they definitely do hint at flaps with the women. Oh, hi! Hi, everyone! Welcome in! Thank you so much for the raid! We were just talking about something completely wholesome and above board. Please do not skip back in the VOD. How are you? How are all of you? No, we weren't. Peaks, shut the fuck up. Don't embarrass me, chat. Are you talking about the bolt? No, but we weren't. No, we weren't. Shh. Take the cap looks off. In the voice. But yes, hello everyone. Welcome in. Welcome. I hope you had an amazing stream. Are we on, like, follower only? I don't see a lot of newbies in chat. We were talking about art. No, it's turned out. Okay, good. We just got a lot of quiet viewers. Well, welcome. By the way, if I swear at you, I probably don't mean it. If I mention butts, I might mean it, given the topic of today. We're talking about character design. And just, like, with other characters, there is hints of genitals, but not with the male specifically. Like, we are very determined not to sexualize the men. And people go, wait, but he's buff as fuck. He has a very, very beautiful... Look at his arms. Look at his muscles. And I'm like, yeah, but that impresses men. That's not... Usually that's platonically impressing men through power fantasy, rather than being a woman's sexual fantasy. If you go and read a bunch of women's novels, and you go and look at a bunch of women's romance, right? A lot of the guys are just not built like this. They're just not. So, like, I wouldn't consider this sexual. I'd consider this power fantasy, right? Usually. I'm sure there are some people who could jerk off to this. Fine. I'll give you that. Absolutely. Is it overwhelmingly just performatively for the female gaze? Absolutely not. Right? Can we say the same about other characters? No. Like, I feel like a lot of female characters are very performatively just for the male gaze. Like, the way they move... what they wear, the way they stand, the things they wear. Like, even, like, they will hint at nipples with external clothing. That clothing is there to simulate nipplehood. Right? But we don't have anything to simulate a massive penis. We just don't. We have characters where there is simulation there is simulation of things going on here. Absolutely. Lol, so true. Yes! So... there is a genuinely insinuated cleft going on here. I don't want to zoom in on it, but, like, you would be fooled into thinking you were seeing the outline of genitalia here. It's what's the word? The illusion of nudity. We're just seeing cloth folds, but it doesn't feel like cloth folds. There is nothing like that for the dudes. Nothing. I mean, it would be weird for a tree to have, well, technically he does have his junk out because plants' genitals is their flower, right? That's their, when you go and pick a bunch of flowers, you are basically ripping the genitals off a bunch of plants. So I guess in a way, he technically does have his knob out. This is the closest you're gonna get. Absolutely. Right? Because the male characters are smooth. They do everything they can to insinuate that they don't even have junk. Right? There is nothing. And if we lived in a world that appealed to the female gaze, he would have a massive chunk. He'd have like a guard that is weirdly suspiciously penis shaped, but isn't actually a penis. It's just his penis guard. Or there'd be like a bow tie around it. You know, he'd just be running around in a thong with a bow tie around his knob. If we lived in opposite world. Gambit is for the female audience. To be fair, Gambit is intriguing. I would say, like, he's the closest to the female gaze I would consider out of all the male characters, off the top of my head. Maybe I'm forgetting somebody, but I think you're right. I think, like, the closest to a female fantasy we have is Gambit. Show Gambit. But even then, the crotch area is still laid down. It's not emphasized. There isn't a big arrow pointing towards it. We don't see any, like, decoration on his nipples to make sure that you know he's got perky nipples. Right? Like, there's a lot of focus on the abs, which is understandable. But I feel like a lot of women, if they were to draw, like, a beautiful man, they would probably draw, like, a smaller man than him. I still feel like this is a lot of muscle for a female fantasy, because most of the most attractive male actors that women clamor for are a little bit more petite than this, strangely. I feel like when men design a character they think is going to be hot, they design a beefcake. And when women design a character that they think is going to be hot, they generally don't. Pull out the cockskins. There's only one that I know of. There's only one that I know of. Okay. And, we're just appreciating the female gaze. I'd say, like, if I were to guess, I'd say that this is probably one of the more attractive ones. But even then, there are some details about his face that I think would be a lot softer if it was purely for the female gaze. I think he's the closest one, but, like, if we were to compare him to, like, I don't know, the main characters in Twilight, or, like, Dean and Sam Winchester, or, like, who's that guy from The Misfits who was Irish? He was, like, quite petite, because loads of people found him incredibly hot. What's this? Who is that? Wait, is that one of his skins? Is that skin of his? Oh my god! How do we find that one? It is? I did not recognize him. Okay, we gotta find that one. Is it in the store? Where do I find that? Where do I find that? Wait, no, like, where do I find it in the game? It's not in the store anymore? Oh my god, okay. Let me do some MacGyving. I've just been presented with a holy shit skin. Oh wait, this isn't the right one. Bear with. Okay. Okay. Yep, that is very female gazy. How did I not know about this? Damn. Yeah, okay, we found something for the female gaze. Yep, there it is. Still too muscular and hairy for me, it seems. Well, I feel like hair is a diverse one. Some people like hair, some people don't. That one, like, I feel like is more diverse than the muscular thing. I think men design men to be more muscular when they're hot than women do. Absolutely. Like, there's this thing called boy pretty and girl pretty. And, like, women think that men find skinnier women attractive than they do. So, like, when there's an attractiveness slider, women will often make women skinnier when trying to say, like, this is the ideal beauty, than if men design her on the slider. They'll make her a little bit thicker. And by the same token, a lot of men design very muscular men and go, yeah, this is the ideal hottest man. That even straight men will be like, yeah, this is the hottest man. This is what women will find attractive. Someone's saying Cyclops is female gaze. So am I just being directed to, like, they're like, oh, you just weren't looking hard enough. There's something for you. But I still feel like my stand, like, my thing. Wait, what? Oh, right. Yeah. My thing still is in place. I still feel like they cater to men's gaze more than they do women's gaze. Like, by default, a lot of these skins do not have the same level of emphasis on parts that women find attractive by comparison. Oh wow, they really went all out with this one. The skin up to the right. This one? Is this for the female gaze? What is the name of the skin? Bro, look at this chest. Elegant eye. Okay. You reckon this is for the ladies? I mean, it's pretty. But to be honest with you, for me, I feel like this is appealing to gay men more than women. I could be wrong. I don't know. How many girls are in the chat right now? Do you reckon this is more for us girls, or do you think this is for the guys? This is for gay men, 100%. That is not for the guys. Yeah, okay, for the gay guys. But come on. Don't get me wrong. He's a very beautiful man. He is. And I think they've made him very beautiful. I think that there is a... This strikes me as more male gazy, though. Is he objectified? Hell yeah. But is he objectified for us? I don't know. The Namor movie costume? Okay. I feel like Namor is... He gives Gaston vibes, though. He's too smarmy, and that immediately makes him not for anyone's gaze. Like, Namor is... He reminds me of Gaston from Beauty and the Beast. He's not... He's smarm will decrease your attractiveness 1000%. It's the haha, like immediately. Like, there are dampeners and there are dryers. And that kind of laugh is an immediate dryer. Movie skin. Phoenix, Black Panther, retro. I don't think I have the movie skin. Wakanda Forever. Okay. That one. No, that is for gay men. I'm sorry. Like, if that is definitely a gay man outfit. Gay man, that is for gay men. Like, the facial hair, the facial expression, the outfit, just everything about this. Women wouldn't love this? Okay, am I saying that no women would love this? No, I think there must be at least some. Do I think this is a mainstream one that lots of women overwhelmingly would pick? Probably not. Probably not. Like, this, I'm sorry, but everything about this screams gay to me. He's not gay. I'm not saying he's gay. I'm not saying he is gay or that he looks like a gay person. I'm saying that this is key to make him attractive to an audience, right? That he is attractive in this. But who would find this attractive? I'm not saying what it says about his sexuality. I'm saying who would find him attractive. Those are two separate things. There is the observer and the observed. Like, you can be found sexy by a group of people that you're not interested in. So this says nothing about his sexuality. This is just, who was this made for? Who's gonna find this delectable? Who's gonna have a poster of this somewhere, right? And I feel like more men would find this skin attractive than women. I do. Maybe I'm wrong, and I don't mean to speak for a whole group of people, but like, I feel like this is more homoerotic than heteroerotic. This one specifically. There were women gooning to this from release? Okay, like I said, I don't doubt that there are women who find it attractive, but I doubt that it's like one of the overwhelming, like, immediate events where people discover something about themselves level. I don't think this is like a mainstream thing. Like, there were people who were finding, like, Venom attractive. Venom! There are people who find Venom attractive, and they're very vocal about his skins and his dimensions. Does that mean that everybody finds him attractive? No. Okay, so there are some people in chat who are like, yep. I'm like, that's really interesting. Why? Girl, look at him. I'm looking. Why? Like, if you try to kiss this thing, you're gonna look like a voodoo doll. You're gonna end up with so many holes in you. They know what he can do. But he could friend kiss you from across the room? Okay, I feel like I thought I was gonna come here and be the entertainer, but I feel like I'm just being entertained by Chad at this point. He has a bubble butt. I think he has something close to a bubble butt, but there's still the dip. You see that dip? You see that dip? What I'm saying is, you can definitely find guys who have a butt like Cloak and Dagger. Where is Cloak and Dagger? I never have to find them. Where are they? There they are. Like, I feel like basically this character looks naked all of the time, but I genuinely do think that there are men out there with that butt. They're just too afraid to give that butt to a male character in this game. And I stand by it. Yeah, I want that butt. Yeah. There are plenty of guys out there with butts like that. There just are. I'm sorry. But you'll never see one in this game. I will not stand for this hip dip prejudice. I think that you can have a beautiful butt with hip dips. I just think that they don't give a dipless butt to men. For reasons. Cap, though? Yeah, I've delicately danced around the whole Cap situation. Are we gonna go and look at Cap? I don't know where he is. There he is. I don't know if I have the skin. Okay, so his dimensions in this are like what men make the dimensions of men. This is a very typical thing. They just deny the existence of male parts, right? Oh no, I don't have it. Am I gonna have to go watch a video of it? Wait, there's a... Damn, that's pretty cool. But yeah, notice that there's his dimensions, okay? Pay attention to his bodily dimensions in here. This is what usually happens when males write a male character, design a male character. Like, they will literally put flaps in the costume of the female characters, but they'll pretend that the men have nothing. They do, they Ken doll them. And that's really, really significant, because they definitely don't Ken doll the women. At all. Like, sometimes you can see, like, the lady parts from behind. Like, if some of the female characters, if they stand like this, you'll see their lady parts. But, like, if I show you, there is a skin that the mods really want you to see. Okay? And it's this one. Okay? Interestingly enough, you chose the one where the commentary is... There we go. I don't know how to turn the audio on. The audio doesn't want to be on. Oh, there we go.
But the thing you'll notice first about him, the thing which it is impossible not to notice, is the enthusiastic bulge in the crotch area, which gets to hang rather loose during some of his emotes. Now, it's actually not 100% clear to me that he's supposed to be quite so extended, because certainly in the artwork for the skin, he is a little bit more of a Ken doll, or maybe he's just better at tucking there. Besides that, the skin has a bit of cuteness to it, what with the inflatable beach toy ducky shield and the stars and stripes swimsuit, which is kinda cheesy, but the main attraction here is obviously the man's body. Cap's muscles are as huge and bulging as they are, it seems, because rather than rendering a version of him without his armor, what they seem to have done is essentially paint his naked skin over the same volume and geometry that his armor occupies, which might be in part about preserving his silhouette and hitbox, but which is definitely also being put to use bulging him up as much as humanly possible. Rivals has always been a very horny game, and one of the things about it that does stand out is how willing it is to sexualize and objectify its male characters along with the female ones, which is refreshing to see. Having said that, though, while there definitely are women who are into this style of enormous bulging beefcake, the place that you are much more likely to find this type of body and this type of sexualization of this type of body is among gay men. This style of chunky, mega-muscled, ripped, bulging hunk is archetypal of bara and gay men's erotica. So honestly, I would make the argument that even sexualized as he is, Steve Rogers here is still sexualized for the male gaze. Which isn't a bad thing or a problem, mind you. In fact, I think it's nice. More media should be willing to incorporate queer sexuality into its fan service. I just get kind of a sour taste in my mouth thinking of the Walt Disney Corporation's long legacy of cultural conservatism and family values propaganda, and now here they are also profiting off of softcore gay muscle pinups. It's just kind of a bitter taste. Anyway, the skin is fine for what it is, but how much you like it is going to depend entirely on how well the pandering works for you, and it doesn't really have anything particularly creative or interesting going on outside of its fan service. There are some new swim.
So, what I will say about that to finish is when it comes to these sorts of characters, I don't find them like aesthetically attractive at all. I know like mentally like some people do find it attractive. I just don't think that I was their target audience, and I don't like really get intrigued visually by anything on a sexual degree, but I still know the difference between something that's aesthetically pleasing and not, and I don't think like any of this really was designed for people like me. And I think like if you look at what women design in their stories and what kind of characters they design, you're not going to find something that really matches up with that in the Marvel universe. A lot of these comics were drawn literally by dudes for dudes for a long time, and women were kind of chased out of the scene. So there isn't really going to be a lot for us for a long time. And I do think that a lot of male games designers, and like, because I met them, I studied with them, I did games design. And one of the things that I noticed is that a lot of these guys do not know how to appeal to women on a personal level. Like they don't know what to wear or how to act or what to say to be appealing to women. So they really, really find it hard to design a character that would be appealing to women. So they accidentally design a character that would be appealing to them if they were gay. Like, they just imagine what they would find attractive in a man and just assume that a woman would find that attractive too. I do genuinely feel like that's where the crosshairs kind of, like, this is where a lot of games designers go wrong, trying to sexualize men in a heterosexual way. I feel like women don't get pandered to in anything ever, and games is a big one. Games designers don't really pander to the female gaze most of the time, even when they're trying. And to be honest, I'm not mad at it. I think like the funniest thing to me is, would it really be equality to pander to women's gaze? Because like, I as a woman can play this game without breaking into a wank. I'm not intrigued. I don't need to be led boner first into the game. And I feel like this kind of advertising, like one of the reasons why there is fan service in the first place is because men can be attracted to a game because they're attracted to it sexually. But growing up, I played Crash Bandicoot and Sonic the Hedgehog and things like Jak and Daxter and stuff like this. And at no point did I ever have a boner. At no point was I ever sexually attracted to any of the characters I was playing. Like, I was playing like games like Pac-Man and Tetris. Obviously, I loved gaming, but at no point did it ever really sexually awaken me. And I do feel like for some fucking reason, a huge part of the games industry is about giving men boners to entice them to think the game is great and to entice them to be interested in the game. And it's just like not a mechanism that's even needed for women to take an interest, because we were never pandered to and we're still here. We were never given anything to jerk off over, and we're still here. Crazy take to say Crash Bandicoot had no sex appeal. Ranch, some things should stay in the draft. You know, something should be reserved for your diary. This is why getting female artists is important. Well, I feel like female artists will just make characters that are cool because they're characters, which isn't a complaint to other women, because we're like, yeah, that's a person. That's a unique person I could believe exists and I could be invested in. I feel like what ends up happening when you get female creators is more often than not, obviously there are exceptions, but more often than not, they just make people that you can get invested in without getting a boner over them. And at the moment, there's a lot of anger about that in the space. Like, a lot of men are like, how the fuck am I supposed to play this? I'm not getting a boner. Like, this is just an average person. This is just a 45-year-old woman. You know, this is a woman with muscles. What am I supposed to do with this? Whereas all the other women, like when women create characters, they create characters based around the person inside. And rather than going, yay, now my chance to make some wank material for us ladies, boom, usually their first priority isn't to try and recreate their sexual fantasies in the game. So even if you got like 50-50 female and male character, like games designers, I don't think you'd get 50-50 like sexualization. I don't think you would get equal opportunities perviness out of that. I think you would literally have to go and find female heterosexual erotic artists to get the level of sexualization key to the female gaze that you do from the average male game designer. And I think part of that is because male games designers, like, more men watch porn than women do. Both men and women watch porn, but fewer women watch porn. It's something like 40% last time I read the statistics, compared to almost 100% of men. So men are connoisseurs of like erotic material by the time they start designing characters, whereas women aren't consuming anywhere near as much of it. So statistically, like, you would have to specifically find like an erotica creator, a female erotica creator, someone making women porn, to get like characters that are this level but for the female gaze. Yeah, to get woman smut, you would have to get a woman smut creator. But I feel like a lot of average male games designers are man smut creators by default. They spend a lot more of their childhood and adulthood immersed in a world where they're visually seeing very exaggerated female forms that are specifically tailored to titillate you. Yeah. And that's why I feel like the stuff that appeals to gay men is overrepresented here. I'm happy and I'm all for it. Like, I like that there's stuff that is for gay men as well. If we're going to appeal sexually to people, we should be equal opportunities with that. But I do feel like there's an unusually high amount of skins and characters that would turn men on compared to what would turn straight women on. And that's interesting because there are more straight women in the world than there are gay men, as far as I know. So it's odd that that's the direction they took when you really think about it. And I think it's mainly not just prejudice. I think it's just because it's easier. It's easier to make a sexy man that men find hot than it is to make a sexy man that women find hot. I can see what you mean. Yeah. Wasn't there something about sexual visual stimuli in men versus women writing with men, with women? Well, funnily enough, we did a study that found that women are actually more visual creatures than men. So women are more receptive to visual stimuli than men on average. We keep saying that men are visual creatures, but like, I don't know. There were some signs before that study came out. Like, if men were visual creatures, wouldn't they be better at interior design? Like, if you go to a bachelor's house, the house is usually like, you know, you go on Reddit and it's like single men are asking each other for design choices because they have like a TV and a mattress on the floor and a sofa bed. And like, I feel like there were lots of clues that maybe men see themselves as very visual creatures because they're very intrigued by their own visual stimuli, but that doesn't make them more visually stimulated than women. And so women are visually stimulated. They do get turned on by visuals. Abso-fucking-lutely. r/male living space. Yeah, that was exact. You know about r/male living space? I get tips because I actually have the interior design skills of the average bachelor. I'll be honest with you. And I think you've all seen that. And I want to get better. So I'm trying to learn. Like, but yeah, I'm just going to lay it out there. Women are visually stimulated. We're just not being pandered to. We're genuinely not being pandered to. And I'll go as far as to say, I think that Marvel Rivals does a really big and good job of creating diverse body types and pandering to lots of audiences. But they could definitely do better at pandering towards women, straight women. And gay women, to be fair. Can you show a character that panders to the female gaze visually? Just curious. What we did with I kind of agree. I was gonna disagree with my mod. He was like really desperate to prove to me, and I think you did prove to me that there's at least one character who I think does pander very well with one of his skins. But I feel like overwhelmingly most of them do not. If I were to think, like, I think that one of the things that really surprises men about what women find attractive is that we find when we explain what kind of body types we are attracted to, we're often accused of being a liar. I think this is part of the obstacle, because if I showed you some of the people that are turning women off on are like the top 10 prettiest men of this day and age, you're gonna see some dad bods. You're gonna see some skinny guys. You're gonna see some guys who kind of look more like twinks. And that's really interesting because a lot of guys, they will see lots of female comments below this content and they'll go, "You're lying. That's not real. That's not true. No. You're just being nice to him. This is not what you want. You say this is what you want, but it's not what you want." And there's a lot of rage and disbelief. And I think that plays into why we don't get pandered to in games. I'll be honest with you. I think a lot of guys just genuinely do not believe we find the things hot that we do. Yeah. So, like, I feel like there are displays of this, but if I bring them up, I'm scared that all of chat's gonna argue with me, as if there aren't millions of women drooling. Like, as if there aren't objectively so many comments in the comment section going, "God damn!" Female gaze is K-pop male groups. Korea knows how to pander. I feel like there's an element of androgyny there as well. I'll be honest with you. I think that all people find androgynous people hot. I think that's just like a form of rare beauty that everyone fucking loves. And I feel like K-pop borders on androgyny in a lot of the things that it does, makeup-wise, clothing-wise. There's a lot more uh unisex things going on, you know, unisex earrings and things like this. And I feel like that's a type of beauty that confusingly appeals to everyone. And I say confusingly because I feel like some people think they're straight and then they meet someone androgynous and they're confused by their feelings. Because they're like, I think of myself as straight, but I find this attractive and I don't know why. So like it's like an OP tier. And I think that from what I've seen of a lot of like K-pop stars and everything, they play on that a little bit with the androgyny. And I think that's an aspect of it, that they're using a really OP angle of making things unisex. And men who are incredibly attractive and like charismatic, a lot of them paint their nails for a reason. A lot of them have an earring for a reason. A lot of them start bending the rules of like what genders should wear. And I think it's because it's immense. And unisex stuff is immensely hot. Immensely hot. 100% androgyny is a maximum fascinating levels of beauty. You either find them hot or a piece of fascinating art. Yeah, because like even if you don't find them sexually attractive, you still recognize that there's something otherworldly about their beauty. Otherworldly is a really good way to say it. It's like unusually beautiful. But there's like loads of people on the spectrum that a lot of straight men don't consider. Like I keep wanting to call him Idris Elba, but it's not Idris Elba because he's like the big muscly dude. He's also very beautiful, but in a different way. Fuck, what is his name? He was in We've Got to Talk About Kevin. He's an example of this. Actor. Ezra Miller. It's because he has an unusual name that I've never heard before. Ezra Miller is like one of those people that I think has his very androgynous beauty. Very beautiful. But whenever he's discussed as a beautiful man, people... Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know the pronouns were they them. Well, it makes sense that they're so, like, they have this, like, really beautiful androgyny about them. But, like, a lot of people are very attracted. A lot of straight women are very attracted to them. And a lot of people argue and go, this isn't my idea of beauty. This isn't my idea of what like women would find attractive, and loads of women find them incredibly attractive. And like another one is, so there's loads of examples. There's a guy with a dad bod. Everyone like he describes himself as having a dad bod, but I don't remember his name. But he's very, very much highly celebrated. But also Pedro Pascal. I don't see a lot of men design someone like Pedro as like an attractive guy. Like when people like I'm looking at Pedro's face right now, and I'm like, one of the reasons is because he looks warm and friendly, and like he has like he just looks like a walking green flag. He looks so inviting. And I don't see a lot of men design inviting men. Warm, inviting men. You know what I mean? Like, I think all of these pictures are acceptable, but like if I show you this, like that is so warm and inviting. Is it not? Like the facial features, the stance, the body language, the smile, everything about his beauty and his appeal is warm. And what I really miss from like male character design by men is warmth. The mustache? I don't know. I don't think it's the mustache. I think he'd still be warm and inviting without the mustache. I think the mustache makes him distinctive. But if I were to describe like the beauty, the surprising beauty and the surprising details that a lot of guys don't know are attractive, forearms, this bit of your arms, and warmth. And I think it makes sense on an instinctive level if you think about it, because some of us are looking for signifiers that you'd make a good dad. And so, like, that warmth, I'm not necessarily attracted to a violent, powerful individual at all. A lot of guys tell each other women are looking for power. And I feel like lots of people can be attracted to power. Lots of men are attracted to powerful women. But I feel like a much more universal, much more important than power, so much more attractive than power, is warmth, is somebody who, you could trust to babysit a kid. And people say that Kronos from God of War is an attractive guy, and a lot of women are disagreeing because they're like, I would not have a kid with that guy. That I would not leave a child alone with that guy. He looks terrifying. Kratos. Okay, yeah. See, I don't remember people's names or anything. Yeah, and there are genuinely men out there who think that he's a sexy icon and loads of women would find him attractive. I think if he went to a bar and tried to pick up girls, he would struggle. I genuinely do. Not because he's not beautiful in his own way, but because he doesn't have like a universal vibe. He has like an intimidating look about him. And like a lot of guys think that intimidating men are very universally attractive, but they're a bit more niche. They're way more niche. Yeah, because you gotta think, like, part of, like, if you're talking about instincts and what, natural fertility signifiers, most men are fertile. Fertility signifiers kind of go out the window because, whether no matter what body type or shape you are, you're probably fertile. There isn't really something about you that's going to signify that you're definitely going to conceive, right? You're probably going to conceive either way. Whether you're high testosterone or low testosterone, hairy or not hairy, muscular or not muscular, you're probably going to be able to conceive. So, like, we're looking for parental, like, loyalty signifiers. Are you going to treat me right? Are you going to stick around and help raise the kid? Are you going to be safe around the kid? Or are you going to be violent? Are you going to be terrifying? Are you going to punch holes in the walls? Right? That is, like, a unconscious thing that a lot of women are weighing up. So, warmth, friendliness, safety. These things come across and muscles don't convey them, because I don't look at someone's muscles and go, oh, he could protect me. I also, like, that's a double-edged sword, because it's like he could also beat the shit out of me. Like, that just makes you dangerous. It doesn't necessarily make you safe. Exactly. So I think a lot of guys tell themselves, I find muscles attractive, so women will find muscles attractive. And when you get into the nitty gritty, there are lots of reasons why women don't really care about muscles a lot of the time and don't really think about them and aren't as attracted to them as men make them out. Muscles can be beautiful, but like physical strength is like not correlated to muscle mass, weirdly. So like someone who's less muscly could be physically stronger. Like, there's a difference between, like, useful muscle and aesthetic muscle. Yeah. So, like, you don't have to be a huge beefcake to be considered muscly by the female gaze. You could be, like, a hot, strong dude, a much smaller body type. Yeah, and I think that surprises a lot of game designers, and we're not seeing a lot of that in, like, male characters in game. Like, Hiccup from How to Train Your Dragon? Ah, Thulgulum, thank you so much for the bits. Hiccup. I bet you anything there's a surprising amount of, like, girls who liked Hiccup. And his whole thing is being small and scrawny compared to all the other Vikings. Jesus was made for the female gaze, don't at me. Oh, don't this is taking a very blasphemous turn and I'm gonna U-turn back out of it, okay, peeps? Cause we could totally dissect that and who that's based on, but I think it would offend a lot of people. Ah, Senley, thank you so much. Yeah, moving on quickly. Is attractiveness to someone who is authentic and trying to be an archetype. I think, yeah, authenticness, like personality is a whole other game because like people's confidence changes everything. Like someone you might consider mid by your own standards can suddenly turn into like an 8, 9, 10 out of 10 when they start dancing. Like just dancing can change someone's whole visual level of attractiveness. And that's all behavioral, right? And there's a really funny thing with that where they've nailed down the exact dance that, like, the exact dance moves that if you were to whip them out on the dance floor at a pub or club or whatever, you are 99% more likely to be attractive to women. Like, they figured out the female bird dance. The one that makes the female feel like a bird. Like, damn, I feel like a bird right now. And everyone's still hung up on Jesus. Moving on! Like, there are a lot of people out there who see Jesus as a parental guidance figure who you're really gonna scramble right now. Archon Leeson, thank you so much for the prime. But yeah, dancing is like a behavioral example of how you can upgrade your appearance. Like, I feel like with the whole incel adjacent looks maxing whole thing where like they had to rebrand like beauty content as looks maxing so that men didn't feel weird about doing something effeminate. That whole thing is toxic anyway, but I think they dodge around a lot of really harmless, healthy, awesome ways to improve your appearance. Like there's a guy who, because of the looks maxing community, decided to cut open his own face with a scalpel and just do cosmetic surgery on himself with no anesthetic, and he botched it and needed to go to the hospital. Like, there's a lot of that sort of stuff going on in the looks maxing community, but dancing. I've never seen looks maxers talk about dancing. and how there are certain moves that make you more attractive, and they're not usually thrusting. I feel like when you see a movie directed by a man and the guy is dancing and he's being impressive and all the girls are enthralled, he'll probably thrust at some point. But to be honest with you, thrusting kind of gives me the ick. It's not really actually that sexy in practice. It's kind of cartoonish. Yeah, it's very icky and goofy looking. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of agree. I think that this is another instance where men imagining what they would find attractive as a gay man is completely obscuring their ability to see what a straight woman would find attractive in dancing. It's all about nice subtle hip movements, yes. If you're gonna swing those hips, swing them slower, swing them gentler. That's gonna be way more attractive than just humping the air. I think lots of women found Elvis quite attractive. Yeah, I do think that beauty standards do evolve and change though. So I think it's hard to use historical figures as present day examples because everyone's beauty standards evolve. So I think there are definitely things that made him very charismatic for his day, but I'm not entirely sure that if Elvis with all of his dance moves and looks exactly as they are weren't invented then and they were invented today, I don't know whether it would have the same impact. So I think like there is a societal context to things that definitely is a factor. Like Marilyn Monroe is considered one of the most beautiful women ever in all of history. But I think, if a woman who looked identical to her was born today and she was never born, like if we brought copy pasted, we just deleted her from history and just pasted her now, I don't think anywhere near as many people would find her attractive. And part of the reason for that is that she had a phase of her life where she was curvier. And I think in today's world, she'd have been hated for that rather than celebrated. Damn. Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, I think it's kind of cool that she had her day and she had her time of being appreciated and that she arrived at exactly the right time to be appreciated. Because right now, I think that a lot of people would be screaming that she was overweight and that she's part of the fake body positivity movement and that she should go to the gym. I think there'd be a lot of comments like that. A lot if she was here today, which is sad because she's fucking stunning. And being encouraged to go on Ozempic, exactly. But yeah, all that to say, I don't know if you agree with me, but I think that a lot of guys don't know what women find attractive. And I don't think that's a flaw or criticism of men. I don't think you have to. I think that it's incredibly freeing that you don't know because women are made aware of what men find attractive their whole lives, and it is such a cage, and it leads to eating disorders, and it evolves into self-mutilation, self-hatred, insecurity, feeling like you can't leave the house without putting makeup on because you failed other people and they're going to hate you if you don't look the most attractive you can possibly be at all times. So we're made too aware of what is attractive and what isn't. And I think like it's kind of beautiful that at least half the population gets to live outside of that and not be made chronically aware of what women expect and what women find attractive all of the time and being heavily punished all the time for not meeting those standards. I think that's beautiful. I think that's how it should be for everyone. I wish that applied to women too. I think that's like okay and very freeing on your part. But I do think it means that it's much, much harder to create media for women in this climate. I don't think we're going to find a lot of really sexy, hot men and male protagonists that women are just drooling over for years and years and years and obsessing over as often as men get. If women cared what men found attractive, they wouldn't have ridiculously fake eyelashes, cake face, lip fillers, etc. I mean, I see where you're coming from. I do think there's boy pretty and girl pretty, and that women are told, like in the same way that men spend a lot of time getting very, very muscly, when, to be honest with you, women don't really care that much about muscles. I feel like that's like the equivalent. But when it comes, you'd be surprised with lip fillers, because there are sex workers who have OnlyFans and things like this, who specifically have patrons, people who pay them money, and they get off on seeing women get lip fillers and find it incredibly attractive for women to go overboard with it and have really huge lips, and will literally pay hundreds of thousands to be invited just to sit in and watch women get lip fillers. Like, there are men who are obsessed with lip fillers. And there is also a subset of men who are absolutely obsessed with the fake look. They love a girl who looks completely artificial. Giant fake boobs, really thick filler lips, bleach blonde hair, the big long fake eyelashes, the massive towel-on nails, the tiny little corset waist, the BBL butt lifts and things like this. There are men out there who love all of that at once, and love when a woman has that kind of like a natural kind of plastic tear beauty. There are definitely those men out there. They seek it out. There's a whole type of porn that is completely centered around that. There are men who get off on seeing women get more and more like breast implants, and will pay ridiculous amounts of money to women for them to get breast implants, just because they get off on it, because they're really excited about it. So they're like, I will personally pay for you to get breast implants. Yep, there are quite a few people I know who like artificial women. So, like, there are women who get a lot of positive reinforcement in their lives from that standard of beauty and investing in it. And if it makes them happy and they enjoy how they look and the people that they're with find them beautiful, then I don't really care, as long as they don't feel pressured to, and as long as they're mentally healthy, as long as they're not feeling like they're chasing away a form of insecurity they can't get rid of, as long as it's nothing unhealthy and they're just happy with their body and changing it how they want, I don't care. But I do think, like, there are some aspects of female beauty where they're like, yeah, I don't give a fuck how men feel about this. Because most men I know don't give a fuck about fake nails. And women love fake nails. They love it. Like, I frequently get asked why I don't do fake nails. Like, I've even been asked on stream by other streamers, why don't you do nails? Like, there's loads of women who think it's like the default at this point, natural default, to have fake nails. And they go really crazy with the designs and will spend tens of thousands on the designs. And it's like, it's beauty for them. They like looking down at them. They enjoy it. It's their hobby. They enjoy the process. They enjoy the art. They enjoy the look of it. They don't give a fuck how men feel about it. And to be honest with you, it's a form of self-defense too, because those things fucking hurt. Right? So, like, they have a practical use, and I feel like that is female beauty for females. And we don't find it attractive. We're not like, oh, damn, those are some sexy nails. Come over here with your talons. Like, they're just like, damn, that's impressive. That's pretty. Well done. Like, and I think there should be more of that kind of beauty, to be honest with you. I think that there should be more things that people just enjoy platonically and are cool outside of how much you can jerk off over it. But, like, one of the reasons why I don't do nails is partly because, like, I am clumsy, cannot be trusted, and, I fat finger the keys as it is. I'm definitely not gonna be able to type properly if I get fake nails. I like to WASD, I'm a gamer. Gaming is hard with fake nails, but also, I'm just aware of the planet as well. Like, to be honest with you, I don't really wanna be choking turtles over just some silly little plastic things on my nails. I just don't think it's worth the cost. Like, I don't want some of the longest living fingerprints of my existence are gonna be plastic. I don't really like that about existing. I don't really like that there's gonna be a mountain of trash that I created that outlasts me by potentially even thousands of years, right? And it's all just gonna be trash. And that's devastating. So for me, I don't I rarely ever get it done. I've had it done for special occasions before and then looked at it every day like, "Why did I do this to myself? Why?" And so for me, like, I just haven't been able to personally reconcile it. But I don't really feel like an important creature. Like, I don't feel like I'm worth that level of destruction. Why should the Earth suffer that much just for something that minorly pleases little old me? Like, I could get happiness in 1,000 ways that don't cause that much death and destruction. So, am I worth fake nails? I don't know if I am. Maybe once they're sustainable. I mean, I'm sure if I could get some like recycled plastic ones that I could just glue on and then take off, like maybe that would be easier, and maybe that's where the way I go. Or you can get like little rings that sit over your nails that you can just slot on that just stay there. And maybe that could be an option too, because you can keep them forever. But for now, I'm not enthused by them. Thank you for having that self-awareness, Anita. Well, I know it's not gonna make a massive difference because I'm one of many, many people, but I have that with a lot of things. Like, I'm interested in Magic the Gathering cards, but I don't know how I can justify the consumerism of it. I guess out of all the hobbies, it's probably better to just have a bunch of slices of paper than it is to have, like, I don't know, 1,000 Funko Pops. That's probably gonna leave a much more damage. It's probably one of the less damaging fucking hobbies to have out there. Like, there are a lot of collectors out there who have a lot to answer for because their impact on the environment is fucking horrific. There's a lot of Chinese manufactured plastic bullshit out there that people are collecting en masse. And when they get bored of them, they're not going to keep them forever. They're just going to put them in landfill, and that's devastating. So I try not to be that person. I do. To be fair, you look fine as you are now. I know. Well, thank you. I know that like having fake nails isn't gonna make me turn from like this into like a baddie. It's not gonna really improve my like appearance or anything. But I do think that the intricate little pieces of art do interest me. I watch people get it done and I'm amazed. I do think it's beautiful. I just I don't think it's worth the time and resources for me specifically. And like a lot of the things that I collect are things like bottles. Like this bottle is really old. I've got loads of antique bottles. And I like bottles as a decorative piece. They catch the light. They can be antiques from hundreds of years ago. Um, and they're recyclable. So if I ever get bored of them, they can be melted down and reused. Oh, nice. It looks like a potion. Yeah, I have a lot like that. Like I have a lot of antique bottles that are like really, really, really old. Like this is probably 1800s at least. And I've got a lot of those spotted around. Somehow Anita collecting bottles makes sense. Yeah, there's a lot of them behind me. So I guess when it comes to hobbies, I never really had a stable enough life to truly have like proper collections growing up of anything. But when I do collect stuff, it's usually stuff that I can either thrift or but like I can buy secondhand because new stuff is just destroying the planet. I don't really like buying loads of shoes. I've ended up with lots of them now because I never throw them away. So they've slowly accumulated over time. Most of my life, is up until the age of like 27, I only ever had like one pair of shoes, maybe two, like Wellington boots and some trainers, and that was it. And to be honest with you, I don't know if you agree. Press one if you think, fuck off, fuck off, fuck off. If you think that a lot of men's trainers are kind of ugly, like they have all of these bright plastic foamy bits, and none of the colors match. And like there'll be someone walking around in like jeans and a t-shirt with bright orange stripy fucking trainers, or like neon yellow trainers, and they look like they're wearing Sonic the Hedgehog shoes. They look really luminous and cartoonish and out of place and weird. And I'm like, who convinced you to get these? It's like you bought the shoe because you think the shoe looks cool, but you never really thought about whether the shoe would look cool on you. It's like if you like these colors and stuff, a way to buy something that looks like that is to buy a picture for your house or something. But as shoes, this looks so bizarre. And then you know that they're really shit quality as well, and they're like plastic from top to bottom, and they're gonna fall apart in like a couple of weeks, but they probably still costed you like $200. And I'm like, everything about this looks dumb. Everything about this just looks so dumb. Only if it's for sports. But the funny thing is, a lot of guys are buying sports shoes to walk to work and back for a 5-minute work commute. Like a lot of these people, it's like when people buy a 4-wheel drive mega machine to drive to work on completely flat roads, and they've never gone off road a day in their life, but they still think they need like some massive, chunky, grippy 4-wheel drive. It reminds me of that. I mean, isn't that just personal taste? Why should we care? I mean, you shouldn't. It is a trivial opinion. I don't think anyone should change anything because I'm like, wow, that looks kind of insane. Yeah, that's a good point. I'm self-aware enough to know that nobody should care, that nobody should change the way they dress because of me. But I do think that like they look kind of silly. Good point. It still looks stupid. It I feel like it does. I really feel like it does. And there are girl shoes I find stupid too. Like it's come in fashion to have long sinister points at the end of your toes, like a medieval jester villain. And I'm like, what the fuck is this and why? And I just know if I wore a shoe like that, maybe I'm just opposed to them because I can't wear those, because I will kick the shit out of everything, scuff them on everything, get them caught on everything. I'll walk up the stairs and think that I've got way more toe room than I have and keep bending them up on the fucking steps and stuff. But like, they just look sinister. They look like evil jester shoes. How do you find walking in high heels? Comically bad. I'm like a newborn baby foal on ice skates. I do it sometimes because I'm like, I've got short stubby legs, this requires a heel to pull it off. And it does. It ties together a lot of outfits, and I just have to suffer and wobble and be scared when walking up and down the stairs. If you know I'm not an expert at wearing these things, because you watch me prepare like wide stance, bunching everything up, just slowly walking down the stairs like, bitch. Having Tourette's doesn't help either. And I have soft, rolly joints. I have those EDS joints. I'm hypermobile, baby. It's gonna be like 2 steps ass over tits. I think those extra wide baggy jeans that came in a trend last year are dumb as fuck, but hey, if people want to look dumb, that's fine. I don't mind. I don't be buying and recommending them though. Yeah, but I kind of feel like I grew up around alternative people, and whether it was in fashion or not, they all were wearing those big bulky flares. They all loved those flares. A lot of gothic fashion has come into trend, but a sneaky one that people haven't noticed is that it's gothic fashion to like big flares, to like wide leg jeans. And the thing with them is that, yeah, they're not very sexual. You're not going to be able to picture what this girl looks like naked if she wears a baggy pair of jeans. But she's going to be comfortable, and she's going to have airflow, and she's going to be mobile. And I feel like there's this swing from these super tight, almost see-through leggings as trousers, and like all of the discomfort that comes with that, to just prioritizing women's comfort. And I think that that's actually awesome. I feel like the fact that they're not for anyone to look at, they're for you to exist happily in, is like a really unusually positive swing that I absolutely love. And I feel like a lot of the reason why a lot of guys don't like it is because a lot of guys don't like women's clothing that isn't sexual, that isn't like tight, revealing, sexual. Um And so, of course, because it doesn't really pander to any sexuality, because it's just plain and doesn't really pander to anything, of course, a lot of people aren't gonna like it and aren't gonna get it, but it's essentially a skirt with a bit in between. It's just a more practical version of a long skirt, and I actually kinda like that. It was actually revolutionary when those were invented. In, like, the 1800s and I think, like, the late 1700s, if I remember correctly, it was a scandal for women to like, wear trousers. So, women were wearing trousers that were so baggy, they looked like a skirt when they stood still, and they were pioneering. They gave women mobility and the ability to leave the house. It was so difficult to go outside of the house in the clothing that was mandated. Like, you could go to prison for not wearing feminine clothes. Wearing trousers was forbidden during certain periods of female history. So, like, having trousers that you could disguise as a skirt was incredible. You could get on with your day, you could go to the bathroom safely. All this shit was so accessible when we finally had trousers. Ride a bike, go places. Amazing, right? And I feel like they were pioneering and they're like an essential like I have a fondness for them just because they meant so much to us. It's not just that they are, like, practical and like, comfortable, it's that they are a historical, like, aspect of our liberation. So I like them. I have always liked them. I liked them from the first day that we started seeing those. Does idiots make it harder for you to build muscle or not? So you would think it would, but for me, no. Like I feel like I see an active difference that is really visible. Like people comment on my arms and shoulders when I do like 3 workouts. Like I feel like I muscle up really easily. I don't stick to it very easily, but I definitely when I do them, I see a difference really fucking fast. I've been fashion blind my whole life. I do kind of feel like fashion is stupid because it's just a bunch of companies manufacturing shame to force people to keep buying new clothes when they don't need them by making them feel like they're not part of the in group unless they've bought more clothes. So they make things go in and out of fashion, which I find kind of disgusting. I think that I have always kind of disregarded fashion and just worn whatever I wanted because I do not have the time, money, and energy to be spent constantly trying to avoid an imaginary form of shame invented by a random man who just wants more money from me. Fuck that. I will just wear what I've worn, and I always have done that. And that's why, even after this many years of streaming and being this successful streaming, I'll still go shopping in thrift stores because I have specific tastes. They don't really change, and I want those to be what I prioritize when I look for clothes. But I do know that there are a lot of people out there who aren't in a position where they can afford to not keep up with fashion. Like they have to, otherwise they will be bullied, rejected, not taken seriously, not considered professional, not considered at all, and it has social consequences for them. And I think that fucking sucks. And if I was in charge, there would be laws against it. So you think fashion sells by using status anxiety? Oh, absolutely. And I think it's despicable. It's such a annoying societal norm we've created. Yeah, but also I feel like a lot of guys just don't care and don't try to keep up with it anyway. And I think that's the way to be honest with you. I wish it was like more universal and more accepted for women to just not give a fuck. Because like I know guys who just have like the same 4 t-shirts that they swing between for their entire lives. Like they don't really go and buy more clothes unless they need them because the previous clothes have worn out. And I feel like a lot of women are pressured and shamed. Like I have had multiple people come in chat and go, "Didn't you wear that shirt last week?" And it's like, "Yes, you might surprise you to know I wear shirts more than once." How is that? How the fuck is that a problem? I've never seen a guy criticized for that in my life. still rocking after 4 years. Exactly. And I feel like that's the way it's meant to be. I think clothes should be meant to last as long as they possibly can. I think that fast fashion should be a prisonable offense. I think it should be illegal to sell a shirt that won't last a year. You know? Because I've bought stuff before and I've put my hand in the pocket and the pocket's ripped off immediately. I've bought stuff before and it just falls apart so fast it can't survive 2 washes. Yeah. I have tons of clothes for work, but when I come home, I mostly wear black t-shirt and jeans. Yeah, and I think that should be more universal for everybody. I think that, like, the idea of destroying the world for slightly different colored clothes is fucking absurd. But it's also poisonous. A lot of people don't know that you have tits, that you are, like, absorbing a lot of poison through your skin, and that the polyester you're wearing is, like, dangerous to your health. I was listening to people talk about it, and like, your clothes are poisonous now. The dyes they're washed in and the materials they're made of are harming you. And it's really hard to find anything. Like, the most harmless kind of clothing to find is pure cotton. And a lot of stuff is being sold as pure cotton when it's a cotton polyester blend. So they're sneaking poison into your clothing, even when you're trying to avoid it. And they're charging you, like, pure cotton clothing used to be cheap. But now it's really expensive. And they're charging you full cotton price and sneaking plastic into it anyway. Exactly. And the problem is as well, like, thrift stores are running out of old clothes from the era where things used to be high quality. It used to be that you could find lasting clothes that were worth wearing in thrift stores, but a lot of people are thrifting stuff from, say, like, what's that place called that everyone goes? Primark. Like, you can buy a pair of trousers for £3 in Primark, and it will last you about 3 washes. It will fall apart really fucking fast. But those are the kinds of clothes that people are outgrowing, strangely, and putting in thrift stores. So you go into thrift stores and you're mostly still finding just cheap plastic. It's so hard. So true. Or bamboo fabric. Well, bamboo fabric is a lie. It's really highly synthetic. So bamboo fabric is actually a synthetic called fuck. I know this, but it's basically just another kind of synthetic material that is still not good for you. Viscose, thank you. And so, yeah, like, bamboo is a bit of a greenwashing scam at this point. It's highly renewable, but it takes loads of really poisonous dyes and really toxic, like, processing. It's not more environmentally friendly necessarily, and it's not necessarily more healthy for you than synthetic shit. So I would avoid bamboo because it's being mislabeled, and it's not as good as you think. And you should watch some documentaries on that if you don't believe me. But like, cotton is like one of the top tier clothing materials. It's just really hard to find pure cotton now. And this is the kind of stuff you have to think about when you're 36, and I hate it because I just want to go back to playing computer games and not overthinking everything because every choice has become so needlessly fucking complicated. It's so hard to do anything right. It's so hard to do anything healthy. It's so hard. You buy something because you think it's going to be good for you, and you find out you've been giving yourself lead poisoning or fucking microplastic poisoning this whole time. You know? You think you're buying something ethical and you find out there's a bunch of slavery involved. I trust you, but I'll look into that more. That's disappointing. I know! You know why? Because I had the most boring adult fucking misadventure trying to buy new bed sheets. And I found out, I was like, I'll get some bamboo bed sheets. I'll invest in some high quality ones that are environmentally friendly. And like, what I do whenever I jump on the bandwagon of anything since the fucking palm oil gate, right? Was now I look into stuff before I jump on board with it. So I typed in immediately because I realized I believe that bamboo is good. I was like, why bamboo stuff is bad for you? And I went and looked and I was like, oh fuck, no, it really is. Great. Now I'm researching Tencel. Go for it. I really wish that bamboo could be the answer though, because I have a dick, because I have a dick, because I have a dick, because I want dick, because I desperately want the solutions to be easy. I want renewable, easily regrown shit that is from the environment, is natural. I want that shit. So I really wanted bamboo to be awesome. It's bamboo viscose that you want to research. Okay, do that. Do that. Everyone should know about it. Fuck. Do some adulting. Learn. The truth tick. Why does everyone just assume that if I shout about dick, that I want dick? But nobody ever assumes that it's a truth tick when I say I love you. Why is it that more of you will believe that I desperately want your dick than that I want to be loved? Or that I love you? What is that about? Isn't that a self-roast in itself? Where I shout about dick, you're like, yeah. But if I go, I love you, you're like, well, that's clearly not real. You never question that. You're like, no one has ever went, is that a truth tick? Not once. There's people thinking that a streamer loves them. I know, right? Oh yeah, by the way, I'm gonna work on the sub badges, bitch, and I can't decide what I want to do. My top ideas for now is like I could do the evolution of Megatron. So I could have like a little tiny snail as like the first sub badge, and then like a slightly bigger snail and a slightly bigger snail, and then like have them gradient in color, and eventually the snail comes out of the shell, and eventually the snail has like a band hammer or a sword and gets like more and more armor or something, I don't know. Or we could have sip coins. We could have like bronze, silver, gold, graduating up to dollars, up to higher and higher dollars. We could have rupees. We could go up the grading system. I don't know if there's enough rupees in Zelda though. I think there's only just a small handful of colors, and some of you bitches been here for like 8 years. So we could have simp coins. We could have snail. What were my other ideas? I briefly wondered if banana, like having a slightly like unripened banana getting to slightly more riper, browner, but then I was like, who wants to become a brown banana? Who wants their reward for staying here from 8 years to be considered like a withered old blackened banana? What? Bunnies would be the easiest direction, but that doesn't give you any clear progression. And I want it to be satisfying. I want people to lord their fucking 8-year subs over everybody. Be like, yeah, back up, everybody. I've arrived. You know? Oh, I'm okay, Pete. I'm just whistling. Don't worry. You could do a gradient of all your animals from cockroach to each bunny, even adding older and younger versions. I don't know how people would see or feel the progression from being a cockroach to a bunny. I think people might struggle to see the connection between the two. As much as I would love to flex all of my animals as the sub badges, I don't feel like it's easy to do that progression wise, especially because there's very little detail in a sub badge. So what am I gonna do? Give Oscar like a wizened old mustache and beard? How are you gonna see that without a magnifying glass? Aren't like sub badges like 3 pixels and a hair? Like there's not a lot of detail to be conveying that kind of thing with. Are you just trying to completely go away from the sea glass? I mean, yes, because it's not obvious what they are. I like sea glass. I fucking love sea glass, actually. My problem being that like it's not obvious what it is. The color, most people don't know that the different colors mean more worth or less. They're just colored blobs. There's no way for people to go, oh my god, is that sea glass? Are the sub badges sea glass? No one's gonna clock that without being told. And that's not a critique of the artist. That's just, it's just true of sea glass. And I think what I want to put into it is like, a genuine progression. If it could be funny, then awesome. Oh, I'm dropping rings. Pete, do not eat my rings. Excuse me a second. I gotta be real quite careful here, okay? Bunnies have like a habit of chewing and eating things they should not. Eggplant's funny or inappropriate. I don't think there's like a good eggplant progression that we could do for 8 years. Like that's a lot. I don't even know how many different sub badges I'm gonna need, but it's way too many to keep the whole eggplant thing going. Megatron was a cute idea, and a lot of people know about Megatron now. Yeah, that's true. I do think the snail is like the best option so far. When you try to say something but you tick it, is it connected to keep ticking and still try to say what you wanted to say? Would it make a change if you just forget what you thought in the moment and start new? Quite often when I have a tick and it interrupts me, I often do forget what the fuck I was talking about, and I don't think it really changes anything about the tick, to be honest with you. So, like, you need a 1 month, 6 month, 1 year, and then every year up to 10. Okay, I can do that, Peaks. I think I agree. So how many is that? Like, is that 12? Something that I can upgrade 12 times. That's hard. Something that I can upgrade 12 times with, and it still not be ridiculously detailed because a sub badge is very small. Who do you trust with the 2 bunnies? What do you mean? What do you mean, who do I trust with the 2 bunnies? Who am I leaving with? Why do I need to trust anyone with them? Rabbit, 2 rabbits, 4 rabbits. The sub badges are tiny. At that point, it's just gonna be a scrab. It's gonna look like white noise, like TV static. You're very ambitious. I don't think you know how many dicks, how many pixels I'm working with here. I love you. Fuck off. Really liking your book, On and Off Workers. I don't know whose book you're reading, but it ain't mine, bitch. I ain't released no book. People keep telling me I should. I don't even, by the time I get round to it, ain't nobody gonna be literate. Mwah! Bye, Patrick. Have a good one. That's a myth. What, you don't know about all of the teachers coming forward saying that they are finding it hard to find a child who can read to their actual age level, and that most like 13, 14-year-olds have like are less literate than people who were 6 years old, like in the last generation, that like we've peaked intellectually and we're now nosediving because of AI, because of search engines, because that people don't have the attention spans for classes. Can you think of something you can make 14 variants of easily? Oh, it's 14 now. It's getting harder every minute. I have no fucking clue. See, this is why it would be easier with simp coins. Because you could definitely spread out the value of those. You could have bronze little pennies in the start. I've caught myself getting dumber because of AI. Yeah, it's really unfortunate the way that your brain kind of gets murky, like a little blob after a while if it's overindulged. Simp coins are so 2020 though. I literally, when I came up with this idea, I googled whether or not people are still using the term simp, and apparently, according to the internet, it's still a used term, bitch. Because I thought that I was like, oh, simp coins. Wait, that's so 2020. I thought the same thing, but no, people still saying simp. You also want to update your intro. I don't know if that intro can be topped though. Topping, topping. I love you. I feel like TikTok has made my attention span so much worse, but I can't stop because it's like constant dopamine hits with every scroll. I feel like I struggle with my attention span, but I feel like I already had that issue because of the ADHD, which I've had ever since I was a little kid. Like, so my attention span has always been bad. I do feel like I use things like TikTok more for education. Like I read, I listen to new stuff, I sit there and I listen to people do like video essays about a really niche topic whilst I'm doing my makeup or something. I do a lot of listening to TikTok. I'm not usually just scrolling looking for like a quick funny. And I feel like that has kind of like lessened its impact on my mind by a huge degree. I never got into TikTok, although I think I spend too much time on YouTube, not Shorts. Yeah, I feel like we are consuming a lot of media and it's keeping us sat and not doing things that are really fucking important right now. And like, I think in a couple of generations' time, I think like when we're old, if we get to be old, people will ask why we didn't do anything to save the planet, why we didn't save the environment and things while there was still time. And did we even know what was going on? And we're just gonna have to say, yeah, I knew what was going on, but I was watching Pokemon unboxings. I was I was busy listening to YouTube ASMR, like mommy ASMR videos. I was scrolling past cat videos. That's what I was doing with like 90% of my time. Like sometimes you just gotta look at yourself from the perspective of your own ghost. Like there is this law that if you've ever looked and out the corner of your eye seen a figure staring at you in a doorway, or the cats or the pets are looking as if someone's here when they aren't, that it's your ghost. That when you die, you get to look and watch your whole life again if you'd like. You get to watch any detail of your life you'd like to watch again. And a lot of people just watch the whole thing before they pass on because they've got all eternity, they've got all the time in the world. Um, and that the thing is that there are going to be whole chapters of your life where you spend years just sat staring at a little black mirror. So I think like if you think of yourself from that perspective, I'm not saying it's true, but I'm saying like that whole perspective really made me think, fuck, there's just gonna be my future self would be bored as fuck, just staring at me sitting there staring. It's like we're lobotomized. We just sit and stare. We do a lot of sit and stare. Just complying everything, some sea glass, some bats, some simp coins, some buddies, some Megatrons. I feel like I really would like it to have a consistent progression and not just be random pictures and chat. I think that's what I'm aiming for, and that's why it's a challenge. Maybe I should just go and tour other people's and see what they have as sub badges and see what maybe that gives me some inspiration to figure something in my life that I could work into this. But I think it should be personal. I just want to thank you guys again for all the nudge fund money, by the way. So my therapist is going to be incredibly excited when she sees how much money I have for her, because obviously I've been barely scraping by. I've just been keeping it. It's only got like 1 month in the bank at any given time. When we first got down to like 1 month ahead, one month's worth of payment, she was like, "Are you okay? Are we closing the fund? We've only got a month left." And I was like, "Sorry. My parents died and I had to have surgery and there's been lots of stuff that happened. So, but like I can pay into it again, and I've just been barely scraping by. So thank you for contributing too, because it means that it gets to go on for a bit longer. I mean, technically she retired, so she's only keeping on a few clients. She's got a very small client list now, that she just is carrying on with. So it doesn't take that much to keep it afloat each month. So it's nice to have a few months ahead, because if anything happens to me, like if I die, like whatever is in there is all that's left of it before those people have to lose their access to therapy. Does your therapist watch your content? So she's not my therapist anymore. I haven't seen her in many, many years. I stopped going to see her before I even started streaming, and I've been streaming for 8 years. But I doubt she watches my content. Do you need to come up with ways to keep it funded so I'm not a regular? Oh, no, I don't. Basically, I just pay it privately. She's not a charity, so it would be hard to fundraise for. And the only ways to fundraise for it privately would give away a bunch of personal details of both her and me. So unfortunately, there isn't any way to like fundraise for anything. I've just been paying into it myself. But people from the stream have said, "Can you contribute this to it as well?" and have just put the word nudge before the dono. It's only the PayPal donors that you can do this with, because it's the only way I can find them. At the end of each month, I will go through it, look for all of the donos that are labeled nudge, and add them to the amount that I pay into her. And that way people can just throw some money in if they want to. And that's just something the community started doing, and they just offered to do. But yeah, like that's the entirety of the fund. And that's the only way I know of to keep it funded, given the circumstances. But in the past, I have shown screenshots. So she did this lovely thing where she got people to write what it meant to them to have access to the therapy they wouldn't normally be able to afford. And I did put some of those messages up on my Instagram. So if you scroll back and you see like any black walls of text, that will be things that people have, little messages people have passed on, which is pretty cool. It's very kind and gracious of you, kudos. Well, the thing is, like, there used to be a fund back when I went to see her. that the doctors had put together for people to access private therapy, but that fund didn't exist anymore by the time I got a job. I walked out of her office for the last time. I was like, if I ever get money and get a job, I want to be able to pay back into that fund. I want to pay it forward. And by the time I got back to her, it didn't exist anymore. So we made a new one, and I've been keeping it afloat for many, many years since then. So I don't know. I think like if anything, it's the least I could do. But yeah, it's been 3 hours and I've loved hanging out with you. Thanks for having like a chill day with me. I've been really super sleepy and I've got so much to do. So I better go. But you have an awesome night, everybody, and thanks for hanging out with me. I will raid somebody before I go, so hang tight a second and I'll give you to someone. Maybe we'll discover someone new together. Oh, let's rate this person. Yay, it worked. Define Theory, thank you so much for the gifty. I appreciate it, sweetheart. You have a really awesome night. Be nice to Amori. You as well. Yeah, thanks for being here, Divine. See you Saturday. Yeah, we'll do videos. I'm gonna have a long train journey ahead of me soon, so maybe I'll try and find some extra ones to chuck in there, see if I can make it longer. You never know. I'll probably forget, to be honest. I always plan to do something on a train, and then I just end up staring out the window. I love you. I can't wait 5 seconds, I'm afraid, but you can sub while I'm offline to my channel, so don't worry about the time limit. But I can't control the raid. It's counting down without me. But thank you for trying to sub. Uh-uh. You're welcome, Tones. Catch you later. Bitch. I love you. I love you. Bye.